the zone, breaking it down from her comfy throne. Smart as hell with a side of flair, politics, sass, and a killer stare. Daisy's lurking tail in the frame, chat's already playing their games. That target day, sharp and bold, hot takes drop while the chaos unfolds. Truth with bites both in the way, still showing up every streaming day. Brains and vibes, she leads the pack, now buckle in, no looking back. That dark night, let's go!
Hello, people of the internet. What is up, peepers? Hi, Ducky. Sorry, I have to call you Ducky. Okay. Let me fix my wires here for a sec. Yeah, this is content, boys. So, how's everyone doing? It's morning for me. I suppose you peepers is on his way to bed. Ducky, I don't know what time zone you're in. But yeah, stay awake for me and for my country, South Africa. Or just put me on in the background. I'm good for background music, guys. Right, so what we're doing today is we're going on 10:30. Oh, 10:30 p.m. Not too bad. That's cool. Okay, I can have a good evening. So today, just let me know if my camera, it looks like my camera is a little bit out of sync with my audio. That's great stuff because we're using the double virtual camera. Okay. Anyway, point is we are continuing with part 2 of the Stolen Ground, and we also got a comment from the creator of Stolen Ground, the narrator, everything. Joe Emilio, he knows about my stream and he watched it, so I really appreciate the I don't know if he watched the whole thing. I wouldn't expect him to. It's like 3 hours, but yeah, I'm going to see if I can organize to get him on stream next week. He's probably a lot busier than I am, so we'll try our hardest. Yeah, and if there's any questions for him from you guys, let me know. But we got to finish the documentary, going over the documentary itself today. Last episode, yesterday, the day before episode. Apologies. I said I was going to stream yesterday, but I did not. Other things came up. But hey, here we are today. And yeah, we're doing part 2 today. We're figuring out, apparently, we're going to be getting some sort of solutions, because that's what everybody was saying last episode was like, okay, cool, we know this is a problem and Kitty's very upset, this is fun, but what are we going to do about it? What is South Africa going to do about it? So I think this is the part in there that we're going to figure it out. They had started that. I actually paused I stopped reacting right as we got to that part of it. So let's get to the video itself. South Africa's food challenge. I could do that as a palate cleanser at the end of it. But anyway, let's go. Lots of people are live right now. I'm competing with them, and it's not a good thing. Come on, South Africans, wake up! It's 7:20. Come on. Yeah, Stolen Ground. Yeah. So we are at 38 minutes, and the documentary is 1 hour 6 minutes. So let's get to our X-Mind. We figured out hold up. We figured out, yeah, it's a problem in the I go to diagramming 1. Come now, pick up, open. Yeah, there you go. From Stolen Ground, we picked it up that it is problem. And how it all works, we have literally the law is involved with the law. The government is involved in making this happen. It's poes dark here still, brah. Hey, Bonzik. Oh yeah, it's winter. So you guys are oh god, it's hard. It's hard to wake up. Shall I yell at you? We've got 5 minutes in. I can yell at you. I've got my beautiful sound clip that can wake you up in this post dark time. Good to see you, Bonzig. But I don't know. This is let's have a good time. Let's laugh at the state of our country. Because that's all we can do. Just hold on. I saw a tweet yesterday that it was like Cyril Ramaphosa he says that people that are found to be spending misusing tax money will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I was like, okay. We know this. This is an old story. I'm watching Heath Ledger make out with some chick in Knight's Tale. Ooh, that girl is beautiful. So you know what? Keep your eyes on that. But it isn't very long, that scene. Anyway. Cool. So we've figured out the problem. It involves, we've got the gangs, we've got the gangs that work with the construction mafia, if you remember that. They will murder people to make sure that they have what do you call it? They have tenders, construction tenders. So there is a lot there are a lot of factors that make sure that this happens. Did we just get raided? Because that was a spike in viewership. Okay. Is it? Oh, it's Zax. Okay, we did. Thank you, Zax. Hi, Sherry. OMG. Hey, Kate. Zax raid. Yeah. And Kate's here. Kate's awake. Why is Kate awake? Raid, you guys were busy talking about pop culture, and now Zach's brought you here to listen to South Africa. You know what can I do? What kind of clip can I show you to welcome you to the South Africanness of the stream? Let me hold on. Let's go back to normal webcam. Okay. And let's get a South African tank top game. Yes, let's go. Listen, I did cardio this week and I did my Pilates. Okay, so that I'm on track. Three workouts this week. So today I have to carry on. Today is going to be cardio again. Good times. Are we master goodness? Okay, guys, South Africans in the chat. Let's figure out what can I do? The most South African video ever. The most South African. Thank you. Be proud of me. Thank you. Video ever. I'm looking that up on YouTube. South African living. 10 funny South African commercials. Should I just show them Simba Chippy? I want to be a Simba Chippy. Is that the ad? Cover yourself. No, I'm indoors. I'm fine. Yes, I watched guys, and also I watched. I made my husband watch the Book of Eli last night, because of your stream. Did you like it, my baby? 6.8, he says. Okay, you're thinking. So I'm thinking. You know, listen, the Raiders have just arrived, so let's just go Simba Chippy. Gordon, what? I'm doing a very South African stream or whatever, and the Americans just arrived. What video would you show them just to be South African?
The introduction of CFDC into the country when he joined.
Oh.
When he was
So wait. So Khoza commentary. Sia Kolisi. Captain. He's trying to look at my computer without showing you guys himself in undies. Is it this one? Okay. This is Gordon's. Oh, Kevin Kevin was giving me an example, but here we've got this one. We'll go to the next one. Let's see. I'll show yours after this one. Okay. There we go.
Ngosuku luka 16 kaJune ngonyaka ka1991 kwazalwa usana
Is it?
Are they sometimes?
lwakakolisa Zwidebhayi.
No, we need the subtitles, yeah. Okay, hold up. Sorry, guys. It's the Siya Khaleesi. So when the captain show Andy's Gordo, no, that's only for me. Okay. Ninja with subtitles. There we go. You guys need to understand what they're saying. Okay. As if I don't understand. I understand it. Okay.
Luka 16 kaJune
These assholes put English subtitles. They're putting the course subtitle.
1991 kwazalwa
Okay, there we go. Was born a child of
kumdlalo
Amabogobogo, the Boka, okay, to come through the trials of the new South Africa.
vavanyo kulo Mzantsi Afrika omtsha. Phakama
Rise up, sweet dare, rise up, mother world, rise up, woman.
World, phakamani woma. Phakamani kwazakhele kwamagxaki naseNew Brighton. Ngoba lo mfana wenu umele umzonke
This boy of yours who represents the black nation represents all of us.
nsundu umele thina sonke. Usiya ngumzukulwana wethu, kunyana wethu, kumthana wethu, kumnina wethu, utata kaNicholas.
He's father of Nicholas, husband of Rachel.
Ugwashu, ugxiya,
He's
umkhokheli wethu. Itraka yesamente
Cement truck with no reverse gear.
Pute, manikiniki.
Okay, I guess that's him. Oh, he died in 2020. Okay. Debunk the Mandela effect. Mandela did die years later. This one is better for my clip. Okay, hold up. Kevin's giving us another one. I'm a boka boka. Oh, this is the Simba Chippy. Yeah. Okay, so this is a lot. We'll get into it again, but this is something else. Just for some culture shock for you guys. Yeah. Oh, I've got to turn off my whole camera, because Gordon has to go and say goodbye to the cat. So I'll put this full screen for you guys for a sec. We might get copyrighted, but anyway. Is this the best? No, that's not it. Okay. Oh, guys, look, the best quality is 240p. Yeah, you want the South African experience. That's true. Okay, I can come back. Daisy's come to you, Gordon. She's jumped off her perch just for you. Sorry. This now, Kevin would play this on his stream all the freaking time.
I wanna be a Simba Chippy.
So those are potatoes that are saying they want to be Simba Chippies. Okay.
Simba Chippy. I wanna be a Simba potato. In all our Simba land. I wanna be a Simba Chippy. We wanna be Simba Chippy.
Do you want to be a Simba Chippy, guys? Are you getting it? Do you get it at all? Is this just going? It rules. Better rule.
I also wanted to be a Simba Chippy.
I also wanted to be a Simba Chippy.
Sorry, Spuddy. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Oh, that commentary, that guy that says sorry, Spuddy. Maybe next year. That voiceover guy, absolutely the best. Like he narrates your childhood. Is this one the one that you're saying, Kevin? Is this the one the lemon? That whole thing. If that is the ad, then I'm going for it, because that's my favorite one. Nando's ads are the best ads, just through and through all the time, because they make fun of our politicians.
Quality, freshness, and flavor.
Flavor.
But raw with flavor.
Raw with flavor. Did you hear that? That is an incredible voiceover. Raws with flavor.
Quality, freshness, and flavor. Young chips, but raw with flavor.
raw with flavor. I'm showing you. You're so confused. That's fine. That means that you're not South African. BMO raid. We got all the people that BMO sent me. Well, here you go. Thank you for the BMO raid, everybody. Here is South African stuff. The whole thing. Wholesome. Yeah, it's so wholesome. Raws with flavor. American raisins do a song and dance, and puffed rice snap, crackles, and pops. So I don't think it's unreasonable for South Africa's potatoes to sing. Thank you, granola. Bimo says hi. Thank you, Bimo. What did Bimo draw? Did he draw Simba Chippy today? Okay, let's get the other link from Kevin. I hope it's the Oros lemon. Yes, there it is. It's that one. Okay. Honestly, I'm sure I sing this whenever there is one of these fruits around me. If anyone orders a juice or something that is this flavor, I'm gonna sing this song. This is just advertising that made its way in. So here we go.
Mango. Mango.
Lemon.
See, lemon is one that's in my head. Lemon.
Nazi. Oh. Nazi.
Oh.
Mango. Oh. Mango.
And the O, that O is so South African. O.
Lemon.
Oh. Nazi. Guava. Mango. Oh.
Yeah, fruit cocktail is always the one that people bring up. You sing this for fruit. I knew somebody was gonna. Somebody was gonna do that.
Nazi.
He's saying Nazi, not Nazi. but O is also a colored person. O. You O.
Oros is now available in 6 new fruity flavors. But don't forget original Oros orange flavor. Oros.
Oh my goodness. That's good times. Nachi, my brew. A Nachi is what would they call them? Is it no, it's not a clementine, those are small ones. A Nachi is a Satsuma. Yeah. Oh. The Nachi is colored. How's it, everybody? It's like Return to Aussies. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. You know what? Okay, one more, guys. If you want to see something terrifying, one more. Just to welcome everybody before we go into Nachi one is so rude. Just hold on. The one that's pretty pumpkin patch. I've shown this to Zach's before, I think. Song. Pumpkin patch. This is my winter morning. SAB weird. No. You Shield War. Watch this. Okay. So this would be on. I remember I was so excited. I got the biggest TV. Really, I did. The big box and whatever. And this, I would turn my TV on in the morning to wake up. This shit was ass. Listen, this was waking me up. Okay, so listen. This is how I would wake up in the morning. When I listen to this, I just think of that now, the winter where it's still dark. All of this. This is such a nostalgia thing. So here we go.
Pumpkin patch, oh pumpkin patch.
Let's all run to pumpkin patch.
Pumpkin.
And that wakes me up in the morning. It helps you not go back to sleep. I think that's the whole. Yeah.
Patch, oh pumpkin patch. Fun and sunny fun.
Look at the top, because it's somebody obviously had it on VCR and they took they digitized it. Look at this is nightmare fuel. Wake up, kids! Listen to the music in the back then. And
In patch, freckles and speckles will sing a little song. Woof woof goes woof 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 and sings along.
And I would go to school with this in my head, and I would piss off all my. And this was me in high school. Even I had this would play because it would be on so early. Timothy Treadle, yes, they're not as scary as this.
Pumpkins are tasty and very good to
Pumpkins are tasty and very good to eat.
eat. Pumpkin pie is such a treat.
This was before Donald Trump was Orange Man and everything. These two orange men. Maybe that's why I was programmed to like Donald Trump as a child.
Pumpkin patch, oh, pumpkin patch.
I love that he's got a security badge on. So South African.
Let's all stay in pumpkin patch. Woo-hoo. Pumpkin patch, oh, pumpkin patch. Every day we play in pumpkin patch.
I don't know how you're going to sleep. I don't know how you're going to sleep, Shield Wall, but good try. This is way too long. This worked. 1 minute. 1 minute. Come on. Just giving you Motorsport. Okay, we're over. We're done. Don't worry. But maybe later, if you guys are bad, I will play Timothy Treadle. I wiggle and I waggle and I giggle and I gaggle. I'm getting my next therapy bill. It's worked. I'm in giving me murderous anxiety. That shit is still ass. No, I loved it. What was it? Kiddio. Kiddio was not ass though, Kevin. Kiddio was not ass, right? You cannot say Kiddio is ass. It's time for Kiddio. Kiddio. Oh. Anyway. He also agreed, like, good night, Shield Ward. This is my first kitty horror stream. I should bring Nuds in so she could to give Kitty. Oh, yeah, there you go. It was all right, I guess. What was yours? What was your thing? I don't think Gordon watched any morning shows. Anyway, you watched Mina Moo, didn't you? Education Connection still slaps. We had Takalani Sesame, which is Sesame Street. Yeah, Mr. Dress Up. That sounds like Mr. Groomer. Yeah, Zach's Mr. Dress Up. Yeah, let's dress you up. That does not. It's everything looks very scary when you're an adult and you actually look at what the kids were looking at. How dare you? Well, you guys are doing it. Jesus, Takalani Sesame. You forgot about it, yeah? How could you forget? Takalani Sesame. Okay. Here, just in time for bed. Oh, and you missed. Go back a little bit. Go back a little bit and see. What's the name of the Pumpkin Patch song, so that you can stay awake for another 3 hours. Okay. All right, guys. Get connected for free. We had for free. Some ad had that. Anyway, Mr. Dress Up had a tickle trunk. You tickled the trunk? Are you for real? My parents used to always play trompi. Oh, okay. Different culture. Trompi. What was it? Not Mina Moo. It was trompi. And what was the other one? Anyway, the witch, the little witch, always Trompy the witch. Tickle Trunk, definitely not sleeping tonight. You are sleeping, and you're going to tickle the trunk. We had feral TV here in Australia. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to do a whole stream about feral TV. Lever Hexy, that's it. Lever Hexy. Says wait, that's the one. Okay, so anyway, we'll go after all that joy, okay, because we had some joy, right? Okay, it was the new South Africa. We were gonna be, it was all great, and now this is current South Africa. Anyway, so let us check it out. Thank you for lovely witch. Yeah, ons lovely witch, our witch that is lovely. Honestly, Zach, I'm going to look up Mr. Dress Up. Okay. It's all great till around 2015. And even like 2010, we had a bit of hope. I suppose 2011 is when we realized, 2010 is not changing anything about the country. Yeah. Anyway, after the joyous nightmare fuel, let's go to the normal nightmare fuel, which is this is reality in South Africa. Point is, we went over the problem of it all. Do they speak Afrikaans in South Africa? Yes, many people do. So we're going to look at solutions for this land invasion. If you weren't here last time, probably weren't. Basically, what happens in South Africa is they do land grabs, they do land hijacks. Basically, they go in, and I say they. I'm not saying black people. No, it's an organized, basically a syndicate where you use poor black people that are homeless, waiting for housing from the government, because they've been promised it since I was a child, since I was 3. Okay, they've been promised it. They get told, hey, this land is reserved for those RDP, what we call RDP houses, that the government's going to give you. But you know what? Just go and occupy this land. It's your land. Go and occupy it. They go and they actually have people called shack farmers that go in and actually build shacks on these plots of land. They basically occupy it. They make sure that there's enough shacks to make it an occupied area, and the law prohibits you from evicting those squatters. I think that there's something similar in America, right? You can't evict squatters for some reason, or there's certain court proceedings you have to go through to evict the what's the name? Let me just check RDP housing. Sorry, I've forgotten what it actually a government RDP housing is government subsidized houses. I've just forgotten the what's the name? The acronym. The houses are built so that the RDP, it's, what is it? Residential Development Project. I think that's what it is. RDP houses are owned, not rented by beneficiaries. Everything you need to know about government housing. So it's called government subsidy housing, but I want to know what does RDP stand for? I'm sure somebody is putting it in chat. Rapid Development Project? Is that really it? Well, imagine that. That's hilarious. Is that really it? I've forgotten it. Rapid development. Care rapid. There is nothing rapid about this, boys. Let's say like housing and urban development. Yeah. Kitty, you're getting so close to the mic, you silly lady. Sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bimo. I'm not using what do you call it? A really dumbass program that works. I'm not using GG, so the volume is not being regulated. So thank you, the only one who's allowing me who's letting me know. Just make sure you don't touch your face. Guys, keep that in mind, okay? Please. That's what they called it back then. Care rapid. Let's see. RDP housing. Sorry, RDP housing acronym. Reconstruction and Development Program, which sounds a little bit better. I saw a couple, you see them on the outskirts of informal settlements sometimes. So an RDP house, let's actually show you what they're supposed to look like. Okay, let's put this here. You're supposed to have a whole look, these are pretty modern. Just open image in new tab, and then here. These are pretty modern. So if you look at this is an RDP house. You've got solar powered geyser here. That's pretty cool. And that's what you're supposed to have. These little boxes on the hillside. That's basically what the government is supposed to be giving you. And that is way better than the shacks. Okay, so you're like, oh, what the frack? This does not even look like if I suppose Mark McAllister over there, you probably, I don't know, government housing, does it look like this overseas? A geyser? Yes, a boiler, water boiler. I think that's what you. I've never seen one, and I've been through Kagiso Soweto many times. You do see these I have seen these solar panel geezers, solar thingy geezers. They built some good RDPs. They built some, yeah. Cookie cutter hell. It's better. It is, listen, prophetic. It is better than homelessness and better than a shack. A lot safer. But these things, you can see that cannot be too expensive to make, right? But what the government does, they take a lot of money off the top. So, you know, like I said previously, normal governments just steal from the top, just a little bit off the top, and then they keep the government, the country going so that they can continue to steal. So you keep the cow alive. But with other countries, like in Africa, basically you drain that cow dead. So yeah, maybe you'll get some houses out of this, but what they'll do is say, oh, this house is maybe 50,000 rand to make. Okay, let's charge 1.5 million rand for that house, and I'll take all of the overhead, and you can, yeah, the main cost actually is 2,000. Looks like houses provided for blacks in Rhodesia. Well, that's not really how it's I suppose you could say that this is how these are houses for black people, because most of the homeless people in South Africa are black. Massive step up, yeah. in the UK, Giza is an old man, I know. Anyway, so they steal in this way. So point is that people expect this from the government. They expect to at least have a house, and then that doesn't happen. And so there are several factions that take advantage of the people that are struggling, and they say, hey, go and occupy this land over here, and you'll at least have something. You'll get housing, because they go and they put up their shacks there, and shacks. You know what a shack is, okay? They put their shacks up on that land illegally. They're illegally occupying it. Also, that involves lovely vandalism, where you burn whatever the fuck is on that land as well. Just burn it down so that there's space, and you occupy it. And eventually, by law, the person who owns the land has to find accommodation for you on other land. That's at their cost. They have to do it. So that's the thing that blew my mind about this whole thing. We need to emphasize the well on your sitch well. Well, the well. I need to just, you know what? I'm gonna need to super chat Sitch and Adam and just make Sitch do a well, and then I'll be able to clip it. There we go. Wait, that's the law? Yes, it's the law. It is. So this person is leasing the land. Okay, they have a lease, and people come and invade. It's a land invasion, and it is by law. It's not the landlord's problem. Okay, to deal with these people, it's his problem, because he's now the owner of the land. He has technically, and he has to find place for the people that invaded. So yeah. And when he asked for help, this particular guy, when he asked for help from the government officials, they drove him around Cape Town and said, look, here's some other land. Here's some other land where you can build your racetrack. He spent 60 million rand, which is like $2 million, on creating this racetrack that was invaded and burnt and destroyed by the land invaders. And they're like, okay, well, you know what? We can give you some other land. We're not going to give you any money to rebuild anything. We're not going to take the people off your land. Sorry, we can't do that. But here's some other land. Maybe you can look at it. And it's like, so you have to just restart. It's like, oh, sorry. Shame, I suppose. Our laws make zero sense, which is why I stay away from politics. Well, I'm not staying away. I couldn't stay away from this, because it was absolutely mind-boggling. Yes, exactly. Wait, there's a court process for eviction, but that takes money and time. So you have to go to the court to get a court order that says, can I please remove these people that are illegally occupying my land? Because I can illegally evict them if they're illegally occupying my land. So to legally evict these people, you need a court order. cool. So you get your court order. And then the police are like, we can't do that, eh? It's too much because there's like 1,500, 2,000 people on the land. And then there will be violent clashes and everything. So cool. So that's what happened with this Tygerberg Raceway, right? So go and watch part 1 if you want really in-depth reaction to that. Basically, I yelled in the exact same manner I was yelling right now. So this now, what we were going in. So Joe went and investigated, and we figured out all the certain things that factors that go into this. There's something called the construction mafia as well that causes these things to happen. So there will be a plot of land that is set to be used for this RDB housing, which never fucking happens anyway. Okay, but then there are government tenders, contracts that people, that certain companies want to get to do that building for the people. And if they don't get it, and another company gets it, they make sure that they're a mafia. They make sure that if I can't get that work, nobody's getting that work. So they go and they basically orchestrate land grabs, and they orchestrate murders and things of the actual people that are creating, that are supposed to be constructing those houses. So and their rival company gets killed. So yeah, and guess what? Oh my gosh, the people that want houses, the homeless people that are struggling, those are the ones that suffer the most. Okay. Anyway, well, white people are the only like 10% of the population, so no. Is rich white people voting for all this stuff? Like, no. No, definitely not. But then again, the people that are voting for the DA, I suppose, which everyone assumes that if you're white, you vote for the DA, which is the opposition party. There are many oppositions, many parties, but it's the official, part of the official opposition. They could also be part of this because this is Western Cape, and Western Cape provincial government has been DA, as in Democratic Alliance. But anyway, the black population is like 80%, mostly poor, so the laws tend towards satisfying them. However, the approach to solve the issues is not working. Everything is just with the elites are gaming the system to make sure that they continue to stay on top, and they stay on top. The people stay stupid, the people stay poor, because that's how they stay on top. Very African. Most white people vote for VF these days, Freedom Front these days, I think. I don't know. People have split a bit. Obviously, the white people, I know, DA, yay, DA is going to save us. I don't know. We have never had another ruling party in my lifetime. In our lifetime, Kevin. I mean, I suppose, when we were babies, we had the apartheid regime, great stuff. But we've had ANC for the past. ANC as in African National Congress. We've had that for 30 so years. DA is weak balls. Ugh. So much is weak. Anyway, let's get into it. The DA aren't going to win shit. So anyway, yes, shit on me all you want for leaving South Africa. Do it. I don't know what else I can say other than I ran. We escaped. Woke. Anyway, so here we go. Let's get into it. I still love this country. Look how beautiful this fucking place is. Look at it. Look at Table Mountain, boys. One of the things that Cape Townians have, like I didn't live in Cape Town, but you go, you see the mountain, you're like, yeah, they got the mountain, guys. I don't blame you, but I still don't want to leave. Yeah. Don't you love Dubai? Why do you care what's happening in SA? I do love Dubai. But I care what's happening in SA because there's people that live there, like Kevin, like my family. And so I do care. And also it's where I grew up. I literally grew up in one province, in one town in South Africa. And that's all I knew. At least my husband had different neighborhoods and shit that he did. I was in one neighborhood, boy, my whole life. Okay? And yes, so moving here, she was my hour. Now she's so far away. I'm very far away. And then when I do come back, everybody is trying to get to see me. So I haven't gotten to see Kevin the times that I've come back. Are there lions in SA? Come on, Master. You know that they are. She a Kalahari Brom. Oh, geez, speaking about Kalahari, it's great. Why do you care about your family, Master K? Yeah, exactly. You always come home. Bonzig, where you at now? Dubai is super extra, though. Oh, Bonzig, are you in Dubai as well? Or you also? We ride rhinos to work in the morning. I prefer hippos. They're a lot sturdier. Anyway, guys, it's kind of therapeutic to have to talk about these things. So it's sad and but athlone. Oh, okay. Let's see where apparently. So Joe replied to me, and because I remember I said his accent's a little bit American. He actually was born in South Africa, but then grew up in America. I sleep with my cheetah, faster work commutes. I support free separate Cape for coloureds, Indians, and whites. Oh, okay. You're what's the name? You're okay for what is it called? Cape Succession. How is Cape Succession sounding to people on the ground there? And also, I mean, the people I speak to are all in Joburg, so they don't really care about the Cape. If talking about it's cathartic, it's a weird catharsis. It's painful, but also better than ignoring it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here we go. Let's go into the solutions, guys. What is there? Is there hope?
Any solution for someone to evict you, but you can't evict them. So what?
Okay, let's go. Also, I'm sure what we could do is look at American eviction stories, because there are such things as well. The laws are as stupid, I think, in America. But the thing is, you just got a lot of states. States are just foamed at the mouth. You guys got a lot of states, so you got at least you got some places that have okay laws and some places that are just befork. Oh God, I wish you guys understood it. Okay. Yeah, let's do American compared to American eviction. Little book, boys. In New York, there are anyway. What is the laws? They're stupid. She spat on the statesman. Okay. It is befork, but it makes me befork when they fork with my stuff.
Out. Everyone shrugs, points fingers, blames everyone else. But no one restores what he lost. No one gives him his life back. Because in South Africa, under the PI Act, it's perfectly legal for someone to evict you, but you can't evict them.
Okay, just going back to our diagram. Yeah, I'll show you. The PI Act is, and also just, yes, Daisy is a, that actually gave an informant person the name Daisy, so that's funny. So the PI Act is prevention of illegal eviction from an unlawful occupation. So just put that through your brain for a sec. Prevention of illegal eviction from an unlawful occupation. So you've unlawfully occupied the land, but we can't illegally remove you. So we have to legally remove the illegal. Okay? So yeah, the way it works is there has to be a process. There must be due process to remove them. Okay. So you double speak. Look, imagine if you just said prevention of illegal eviction from an illegal occupation. It would be pretty funny. But they're like, oh, let's just call it unlawful. It makes sense. But also you're like, it makes sense as in we understand that it is an unlawful occupation and you need to legally remove somebody from it. But it's like, isn't it immediately legal that I evict someone illegal? No. Okay. So yeah, the reason this law existed or was put together was because always, again, apartheid is our fucking curse. Okay, they it was to redress or make it more difficult to forcefully remove people, because that's what they did under apartheid, that they forcefully removed people and just put them into basically locations, because we don't want the black people in certain places. We got to put them all in their own little ghettos, right? So that was part of what was happening. And then this law is supposed to make it that there's due process, so people's homes are not just fucking ransacked and taken. But they didn't build onto this policy. They didn't build onto this law, the regulations. So now all it is surprise, surprise, the current politicians, the current stakeholders, or I suppose, they are using it to put this delay into eviction and make a lot of money, because it costs you shitloads of money to get this eviction done. And then you still have to go and try and rebuild what was taken from you. Also, it erodes property rights, because it's like, what, you own this land? No, not really. Somebody can just come and sit on it, and that's no longer yours, really. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight and fight and fight for it. I gotta go to bed. Have a good stream. Message me later when you have some time. You have your long time. Not Kevin. Kevin's going to sleep at 8 o'clock. So that means he's been awake a very long time. We'll see you later, Kev. We also have a law, but your partner becomes a pseudo wife after 10 years or something. So if you split, you must share your stuff. Oh yes, that's a common law wife, right? But okay, so I haven't really looked into it, but it's a common law wife. She can take you to court, or he can take her to court, or she, because we have gay marriage too. You can just, because you're living with him, you're a common law, and you can get basically what do you call it? I was going to say reparations. You can get your $55 a week alimony. Okay. Black people are great as individuals, but I hate to say, whatever they become a large population in any city, things ironically go south. I wish it wasn't the case. It's not their blackness that does it. Your diagrams is a good concept to help break down topics. Thank you, Bonzik. I'm getting a bit irritated with them because my ADHD, no, let's not call it ADHD. Just my lack of organization is evident in my maps. But I try. Excellent skirt, absolutely. Yes, just like women. Yes, exactly. We actually spoke about this, and we are going to speak about it again in our Think this week on evil. We were saying on Wick's channel, we were talking about whether women are evil. And I am of the opinion that once you get 3 women in a call, the evil outmatches however many men are in there. Like if you put 3 men together, you're still kind of, okay, it's fine. But 3 women will bring in evil. It depends on the woman, obviously. But anyway, we'll talk about that. People are always more stupid in a group. Absolutely, they are. And also, people are more stupid in a group when they are kept stupid by the people that are supposed to be serving them as government, which is what happens all over Africa. Kitty is evil. I can see the red in her eyes. I have red? I thought my eyes were black, guys. Literally in my passport, it says my eyes are black. So that's why God invented pimp slap. So just pimp slap everybody. Okay, anyway, so yeah, that was the law. Let's see solutions now. Oopsie. So this Luyolo over here, this was just a DA spokesperson he spoke to, and they just spoke a bit more about the issue. But now we're going to get into solutions. Let's check it out. Let's go back to playing. Sorry.
So what can be done? Are there any solutions to this PI Act? Why haven't politicians done anything? Well, some have. The
Some have?
Democratic Alliance has tried to push through amendments to the PI Act.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, so why hasn't anyone done anything? So solutions, let's go. Solutions. Solutions. DA. Amendments. Attempting amendments. Why is my fan going off here? Well, what's my computer getting upset with? Okay. There, I paused that. That might help. Okay. I said you were on Wick TV. Yes. You saw I was. Yeah, I was on there. I had a good time. Talking evil and stuff, but I think I was a bit too agreeable for Wick's audience. He wants those angry. No, not he, but they want those angry arguing girls, and I was very agreeable. That's why I kept saying I'm sorry.
Yes, there are amendments to the PI Act that have been proposed by the Democratic Alliance in Parliament.
So obviously, I must ask Joe if he sees hope in the DA. DAID. Okay.
Parliament. One of the first things that the amendments that we've proposed aim to do is to want to criminalize individuals or groups who incite community members to unlawfully occupy land. We also
so we want to criminally prosecute.
Aim to do is to want to criminalize individuals or groups who incite community members.
Okay, criminalize in community members. Okay. Let's put it here. Criminalize community members or incitement to occupy my land. Oh, thanks so much, Wade. I really appreciate that. What did Dildo do? That's why God, he's got to keep your pimp strong. I don't have to. My husband does. Okay, so incitement to occupy land. Yeah, cool. But what would the logistics be of criminalizing? How would you what do you call it? How would you prove somebody is what do you call it? Is inciting it? I mean, it's very like, oh well, he said, she said. Like, what kind of evidence would you use? But okay, I mean, I understand that is cool. Criminalize it, but yeah, how do we actually execute that? Hold on, let's put you here. I've forgotten how to arrange my fucking windows, boys. Okay, there we go. Wick is weird. Imagine his audience. He said once with a straight face, an LGBTQ panel that he identifies as trans. What? That he identifies as trans? Well, yeah, I think that's pretty funny. You can self-ID. Why not do that? Okay. I don't think that's that weird. Okay, there we go.
Members to unlawfully occupy land. We also make an amendment in the bill to say that we need to increase the amount of the sentence that someone can serve for inciting land invasion. So what we've put there is that we want it to be 3 years. We need.
You all boys, yeah? Well, I just like saying boys, so yeah, everyone's boys. It's this, you know what? Yeah, I'm being sexist in my language. Julius Malema, that would be impossible. Yeah, Julius from the EFF got away with it. You're right. Yeah, okay. No, not even Julius. There was a clip with a guy that said we must occupy. Where is it? There is an actual clip of him doing it. Where is it? Yeah.
And you see any unoccupied
Land made the call.
Also EFF, so just check.
To South Africans in his rally to say invade land unlawfully.
The message is clear. When you see any unoccupied land, go and occupy that land until all our land has been returned back to the owners of our land. Abanda!
Nice. So just if you see any unoccupied land, go on and occupy it. It's cool. We good. Okay. So he wants to increase the sentence. Okay, increase sentence. Okay. Maybe bring back apartheid for like 6 months. No. No. Look what it did the first time.
Invasion, so that someone can serve for inciting land invasion. So what we've put there is that we want it to be 3 years. We need to be able
3 years, okay. Increase in the, so 3 years. 3 years and they go into prison. It's still you get nice housing, I suppose. That's better. Just start your own or run your.
to balance the need for South Africans to be able to receive shelter, but also balance that with the rule of law, which is ensuring that unlawful occupations are criminalized and that people do serve sentences for that criminal activity.
So you do need shelter. That's the thing. The people that are doing that are, because you do need a lot of people to do this, right? They need to be convinced that this is a good thing to do. They are desperate. They don't have a home. They don't have anywhere to go. So, we're going to go to a new informal settlement. Why the fuck not? So we've got to, what they're doing by balancing shelter with the rule of law is they don't want to stop people from finding some kind of shelter, but at the same time, just fucking build them the houses instead of stealing all of the money.
We also propose in the amendments, it should not only be the responsibility of municipalities to find temporary accommodation.
Okay, it shouldn't be the municipalities. Okay, not just responsibility of municipalities of the responsibility of finding alternative. Temporary accommodation, sorry. It's temporary. It's actually kind of interesting with the way that our government works. It's like sometimes we're angry with the municipality itself because of the way it's run, but then the municipality can also have its hands tied by larger governmental structures at the same time. It's like, it depends which, I don't know, which problem you're trying to solve. It depends whether the municipality is the problem or the solution or the victim. Or it seems like they're the victim and the perpetrator at the same time, a lot of the time. This is just from my normie perspective.
It should be all spheres of government, including provincial and national government.
So you see local, provincial, national, local, as in like literally your ward, your county, I suppose, would be local. Provincial is, I suppose, state, if you're thinking of American, and national is federal for you guys. Just trying to think. What does Darling say? Have rotating apartheids every year, other month, like 1 month white apartheid, the 1 month black apartheid. That's actually pretty funny. Darling, you know what? Why the fuck not? So that we can just equal out the oppression. Let's do it. But they would probably want to be like, no, how long was apartheid? Okay, let's do that. That would be quite cool. Writers, okay? Come on, we've got writers in the chat. Write a story where they figure out, they go, okay, this is when the oppression started. This is when the oppression is to end. And they make the policy that we oppress the white people for this equal amount of time, and then we go back to normal. Then everybody is fine. Let's do that. Okay, so can you just build a shack on anyone's front yard? Technically, you can, yeah. You can go and build a shack, put a tent. Even in law, if you go and you have a tarp, you put it over your head, that is your home. That actually by law can be considered a dwelling. This is according to this documentary. If it is not immediately taken down, so if you don't immediately take it down before it's occupied, then you need to legally evict that person. And one of the things that happens with the law is if you now had to go and you say I built a shack on your front lawn, and I actually had inhabited it for a certain amount of time, that actually makes it a dwelling, but you took it down. Okay, so say you said get off my fucking lawn, and you took it down. I could go and say he unlawfully took me off his property, and you would be required to rebuild my shack for me. Zax, that's the law. That's South Africa. Is the circle jerk best clockwise or anti-clockwise? This Zax says both, so I don't know. Are you allowed to have moats or electric fences or something? Yes, you are allowed to have electric fences. Yes, we don't have. Do people have moats in South Africa? Don't think so. But yeah, we had many electric fences. Wade, I'm sure you've got an electric fence. Sabaringu's probably got an electric fence, or at least barbed wire. Yeah, get your fences done, boys. But your electric fence obviously has to be electrified, so you will need to have a battery for it. We have pit bulls. We had little dogs. I did have a pit bull once, and he was amazing. Anyway, let's go fund me to build Zax's shack. No, Zax, and no, you. I would need to start a GoFundMe to build Zax's shack. I suppose, yeah, that's what you're saying. Zax would need to start a GoFundMe to rebuild the shack if I did that. I don't even lock my front door in LA. Well, yeah, I don't lock my door here. I've actually started now, because I'm just asking for shit otherwise. Or you know actually why I lock the door is because some people they've forgotten which floor they're on or something, and they open the door. They think this is their apartment. They go, oh, and then they walk out. That's it. That's the only reason you need to lock your door. Yeah, where you're not moving. Let's start a go. Yeah, Zax will show you the progress on his shack. In Minecraft, some parts of LA are crazy nice. Okay, suburbs of LA, nice. Wow, what must be amazing. That's pretty cool. In LA, for now. I thought you were a cat person. Tyranny. Hey, listen, I had at the time that I had my pit bull, I had 5 cats, so it still balances out. But he proved a bit too much for the family. So that is one of the biggest failures in my life, is the pit bull. We had to give him away. It's the only animal I've given away. I knew one of the doors were my home. That's it, basically, darling. It's been funny. Like, I've been lying on the couch before this shelf was here, so you could see directly to the front door. And you just look over, this person just is in your living room, and you're like, okay, is this a hostile takeover or what? Hello, Almal. Mora. I don't have a pet. You've got puppies, though. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, guys, let's go back. Because sorry, anyone who's trying to actually watch this. Go and watch this. You know what? This is very transformative. Just go and watch the fucking documentary properly on Joe's channel, right? This is just me spurging on it. Okay. Government, including provincial, national government. So responsibility. This is okay. This is making consequences. I guess consequences de-incentivize stuff. Cool. Okay.
And so we want to expand that particular definition. The second part of the
expand the definition of what? Sorry.
It should be all spheres of government, including provincial and national government. And so,
okay, so responsibility of finding temporary accommodation. I hate that fucking word. Accommodation is from only municipality. And you know what, Joe? I love that you look at the visual representation of the idea with the arrows and everything. That's a diagram, boys. That's a diagram. Oh my goodness. So many of MSK's messages are held for review. What the hell is this? Educational content? Yes, but we are all, of course, the topic of a conversation was about clockwise or anti-clockwise circle jerk. So we try with this. I try with this channel, guys. I try. Just hang out with me while I try and be smart. Okay? That's all I ask of you. You don't have to learn anything. Just as long as I learn and you guys can, I don't know, you can chat to each other. I provide the chat room and the background noise. There you go. Responsibility of finding temporary accommodation from only municipality to become responsibility of all spheres. National, provincial, local. Okay. I just graduated. I'm never learning again. I'm not going back to university, but I am going to do another course. I don't know what it's going to be like. I haven't learned properly in a while. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And also learning with AI around is going to be an interesting thing. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where do you go? Oh, congrats, Rex. You're gay now. Yeah, he's gay for the next 4 days, right? 5 days. No, 4 days, yeah.
We want to expand that particular definition. The second part of the amendments also focus on how do we expand the definitions in which the court considers when they are about to give a ruling for an eviction. And
okay, what? Expand the definition when they're giving a ruling for, okay.
So there's a number of points that we make there that we need to look at the person's financial standing.
Okay, so wait, definitions when eviction is considered. Person's financial standings. So which person? Are we talking about the person that actually owns the land? Like, I don't care if I can afford it to make. I don't care if I can afford to rebuild. I don't want to have to rebuild because it was my property in the first place. You shits. Okay.
The person who's illegally occupied. We need to look at various reasons in which to expand the definition of an eviction, because as it stands, we do find that the PI Act has a very limited scope in which an eviction order is given. And so
okay, financial, wait, so
we need to look at various reasons in which to expand the definition of an eviction, because
expand the definition of an eviction. Expand the okay, well, how are we going to expand it? But expand. Oh, okay. So where an eviction is fine. What comes after Pride Month? Shame Month? No, Envy Month. Expand the definition. I think this is what he was saying anyway. Expand definition of eviction. So in the law, when an eviction is allowed, consider like a person, things like, okay, consider things like that. Also, so eviction is only allowed in when it's a narrow. Currently, eviction in certain narrow cases. Okay, so that's what they want to do. Pride Month just means really loud music late at night down by the boat at Long Beach. For you, there ain't no such thing where I'm at. You know what this month is? It's hot, okay? That's what we're working on in UAE. We're working on air conditioning.
As it stands, we do find that the PI Act has a very limited scope in which an eviction order is given. And so it is important for us to be able to see where...
This is very politician-y, okay? To say, oh, well, we need to expand the definition. No. Tell us how.
exactly the various definitions can be expanded in order to grant evictions orders much easier. But
yeah, grant the eviction orders better, but I still have to get the fucking eviction order, guy. I still have to go and get it, and when I do get it, you guys can't execute it because there's not enough manpower, and because it's 2,000 people on my fucking land. Hello? Okay, so the certain narrow cases expand, make getting an eviction notice, not eviction order easier. Okay.
This also speaks to property owners as well, who are also dealing with people who, for example, don't want to leave their properties, entered their properties in good faith, and now refuse to leave, and they are now protected by the PI Act. So,
there's also proper people that are just squatting. So you're renting because you could do that. I think that's what happens in America. Especially with like my roommate from hell kind of thing. You go in, you don't pay your rent eventually, and they can't evict you because of squatters' rights or some shit.
We do think it's fundamentally important to balance the conditions in which an eviction order is given with the human right aspect of dignity as it.
Fine, dignity. Remove the person who occupied my land with dignity. Don't kick their ass. Just get them out. But the thing is, they kick your ass. They had freaking shootouts when it came to this guy's land. Like, so you're talking. They're using this act when it comes to like 1 or 2 people in a dwelling. But what about the thing where a whole invasion has occurred? I don't know how this will help. If this is enough. Okay, making an eviction order easy. Oh, we got to balance it. He was just like, okay, balance it with balance changes with he has to pay lip service to the human rights of it. So balance these changes with human rights considerations. Dignity. Okay, cool, fine. We want dignity. I'm all for dignity for even criminals, right? But yeah, if they're shooting at me, I should totally be allowed to shoot back at them. Fuck that.
Pertains to people who are without shelter, because that
why are these people without shelter? Because the country's cuck. Okay, that nobody wants to invest in the place. Nobody wants to do business there because you'll be fucked by the whole system and fucked by everybody. And we're not an attractive country at this point.
Is expressed in Section 26 of the Constitution that it's a progressive realization that the state should ensure that everybody has a right to housing.
Oh, the Constitution. Good times. Should we read the Constitution? Should we compare the Constitution of America versus the Constitution of South Africa? Because one of the things that I was always taught about our Constitution is it's the best in the fucking world. Okay? It's the best. It's better than America. And I don't know. Unhoused prawns. Yeah, we wait until the prawns happen. There was a case in New York where a woman was unloading her groceries and left her keys in the door while she did that. And some guy ran up and grabbed her keys and locked her out of her own house. Okay, and then then claimed he had a lease. Oh my God. And she has to now deal with the law. This becomes a matter of law. Squatters' rights, yeah. Wow. Don't you all have guns, Zach? No, this is I don't know, not in New York, I don't think. I think the southern people. And Zach is Canadian. So he doesn't have guns. He's got masks and cats. He'll throw his kittens at you.
Wait, does Section 26 really say that? That everyone deserves a house? Now, there was a major court case that...
Okay, so Constitution. Oh, okay. Constitution. What?
Directly, they say that everyone deserves...
Section 26. government. Did he say government should provide the
house.
houses?
Organization that the state should ensure that everybody has a right to
Yeah, having a right doesn't mean that the government should give you the house, though. Every government ensures has a right to shelter. Right to shelter. So, but the thing is, if you're exercising your right to shelter by building a house on my land, oh, that's a problem.
housing.
Wait, does Section 26 really say that? That everyone deserves a house? Now there
Deserves a house doesn't mean you're allowed to have a house. That's it. You have a right to it. It's not the same
was a
thing
major
as you need to be given the house.
court case that directly addressed this section, Government of the Republic of South Africa versus Grootboom, and it has shaped how
Cutbroom is what the subtitles did. Okay, so hold up. He does this. What's government? If we want to go and search it, government. SA versus Grootboom. What is it? What do you say?
address this section, Government of the Republic of South Africa versus Grootboom.
Grootboom. Big Three. Government of SA versus Big Three.
It has shaped how our courts
I've been there, guys. We went for a visit in the Constitutional Court. Interesting.
interpret this right, Republic of South Africa versus Grootboom, and it has shaped how our courts interpret this right ever since. The case
Okay. Shaped how courts interpret this right. Okay, how's it? Grootboom win a House of Cards. Working as intended, probably criminage for what's happening. Rights are passive, entitlements are active. There you go.
involved Irene Grootboom and hundreds of
Guys, it's an Irene, but it's a live Irene. Irene Grootboom.
others who were living in dangerous, overcrowded, informal conditions. After they were evicted
Overcrowded, informal. So they were evicted from shanties. We got so many fucking shanty towns.
from private land they tried to occupy, they were left homeless, sleeping
So they were left homeless because they got taken out of their squatter camp.
under plastic sheets. They asked the courts, what happens when you have nowhere to go and the state does nothing? The Constitutional Court
Okay, so the state is supposed to provide something for you. You're evicting me because I did the illegal thing, but you're not giving me anything else. You're not solving this problem. So where am I supposed to go? Go and be homeless elsewhere?
made it clear. Section 26 doesn't guarantee a house
Yeah, it doesn't guarantee a house. No.
for everyone overnight, but it does require the government to take real responsible steps within its resources to improve access to housing over time.
Okay, yeah. Shaped our courts in. Okay, government doesn't need to guarantee a house overnight, but must take responsibility to develop over time. Okay, so it's like, listen, we can't give you a shelter right now, but over time.
What the Constitution calls progressive realization.
Progressive realization. Okay. Okay, but it still needs to be realized, though. I think we've just gotten stuck on this whole progressive part. We're just like, we're a bit of on the progressive. We're busy doing the whole progression. We're progressing very, very slowly. In fact, maybe not at all, but we're working on it. 34 years down the road.
The court didn't order that everyone gets a brick house immediately, but it did say this. The Constitution demands more than promises, it demands action, especially for people in desperate need.
Okay, so it's demanding action. Progressive realization equals action is required. Okay.
The Grootboom case became a cornerstone in our law. It clarified that Section 26 is about more than long-term plans or waiting lists. It's about dignity, urgency, and holding the state accountable.
Guys, let's hold the state accountable, okay? Are you ready? Are you ready, Wade? Can we hold the state accountable? Good? Everybody, all the South Africans in chat, hold the state accountable. In your mind right now, hold them accountable. We fixed it. Okay, because that's essentially what holding government to account looks like in South Africa. It's like we look at them and we blame them and we say, haha, and that's it.
Before we continue, it's important to make the following clear. What you're about to hear is Martin van Staden's personal interpretation of Section 26 of the Constitution.
Okay, so we're going to, let's take a, okay, there's solutions that get to the subsection, but let's put it here. Martin.
What he's about to hear is Martin van Staden's VS van Staden's, I don't know, van S opinion of Section 26 of the Constitution. Did you, Dax? Did you also hold your government accountable? Was it great? Personal interpretation of Section 26 of the Constitution. While he's a respected legal expert, this does not represent the official interpretation of the law by the Constitutional Court.
He had to do that. Okay, so guys, this is just one guy's opinion, right? It's very much stated.
Courts may see it differently, and what Martin offers here is his opinion, not a ruling.
So Section 26 cannot be...
Van Staden, okay. Van Staden, opinion of Section 26 of the Constitution. It cannot be... I'm making fun of the accent because it's an accent I can do, guys, somewhat.
Considered in isolation from the rest of the Constitution. You have
you have to consider it in context.
To see that it comes after Section 25, which is the right to property.
Ooh, property rights, boys. Okay, so it comes after consider in context, consider in of the rest of the Constitution, and then we've got Section 5. Section 25, property. So it seems like Section 25 will have an effect on Section 26, right? Property. No one may be deprived of property except in terms of law of general application, and no law may permit arbitrary deprivation of property. Okay, that's what I was on. Like, hello. That was part of another part of the PI Act. Nobody should, no law may permit arbitrary deprivation of property. It's like, hold on, that law seems to permit arbitrary deprivation of property. It really does. Anyway, property may be expropriated only in terms of law and general application. Okay, so we know this was a part of the discussion with the rest of the world. Hey, we've got expropriation without compensation. People can just come and take your land. That can be the government. But what also happens with land invasions is, people are expropriating your land essentially by sitting on it. Anyway, only into items, law of general application for a public purpose in the public interest. Okay, so we take your stuff from you if it's for the public interest, subject to compensation, the amount of which and the time and matter of payment which have either been agreed to by those affected or decided or approved by a court. Well, at least you'll be compensated. When we take your stuff, we'll compensate you at least. And that was the whole thing of, do we get expropriation without compensation? As in, we just take your shit, we don't have to pay you fuck all. The amount of compensation and time and manner of payment must be just and equitable, reflecting an equitable balance between public interest and the interest of those affected, having regard to all relevant circumstances, including the current use of the property, the history of the acquisition and use of the property, the market value of the property, the extent of direct state investment and subsidy in the acquisition, and let's take off our subtitle so I can read, and the purpose of the expropriation. For the purposes of this section, the public interest includes nations' commitment to land reform. So land reform. Okay, so we've got land reform part of our constitution because apartheid fucked up land so much because of evictions, people being put into certain locations and things like that.
And when provision like Section 26 refers to housing, it uses the word housing, it uses the word.
Okay, so it talks about housing. Everyone has the right to have access to adequate housing. So that's 26. So we've got there section property, expropriation with compensation. Expropriation happens for the public good, the good of the public. For instance, for land reform. Okay. Everyone has the right to have access to adequate housing. So in section 26, housing. Everyone has the right to access to adequate housing. The state must take reasonable legislative and other measures. I love that word in legalese, reasonable, with its available resources to achieve the progressive realization of this right. So they've literally used the word progressive realization of a right. So they have to be involved in progressive realization. No one may be evicted from their home or have their home demolished without an order of court made after considering all the relevant circumstances. No legislation may permit arbitrary evictions. So that is underlying the PI Act, because your home is the shack that you've put there. Whether you own the land or not, you have a home and you have the constitutional right to that little home. That's what I think he's going to be saying. So I don't know if what do we need to amend the Constitution for this. What is he saying?
Home, Section 26 refers to housing, it uses the word housing, it uses the word home, and of course it uses the word their home, in fact, referring to their property. There isn't.
No one can be evicted from their home. So he says, referring
implication of incorporating the basis of property that we have already established in Section 25, which
refers to the property. Home refers to their property. Their home refers to their property. Okay, so all of the rights with regard to, and I'm trying to just see what he's doing with these moving parts. It's annoying when laws are wildly up for interpretation rather than mostly clear-cut. But the thing is that they think they are clear-cut when they're made. They're like, yeah, this is what we mean by the law. And then people are like, well, and they slither and they equivocate because we've got fun times with words. We would have to go and say it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. It is this, but it's not this and not this. You have to go and like say what this law means and what it does not mean at the same time. I don't know. Good luck, lawyers.
Which is South Africans' right to private property. So Section 26 cannot be seen outside of this light. And unfortunately, increasingly in South Africa, and this has been normal for many years, but it's becoming far more radical, is that there is an attempt to decouple these things. Certainly.
Oh, decouple property rights. So this is why property rights is a key topic for this, not just actually property as in the land that you're on, just as in like what is possession, what is property. So they're trying to move property away from housing.
By the is that there is an attempt to decouple these things, certainly by
attempts to decouple. Decouple housing from property rights. Okay.
By the activists who are very involved in this controversy, but also by the courts, to be honest. This idea
I love that picture. Like, that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, that someone can have a home, can have a piece of...
Our judges don't wear that stuff, do they? Wait, guys, I don't remember them wearing that. They don't do that anymore.
Fixed property on the...
My home. I wrote my home, therefore it's mine.
Property of a home can have a piece of fixed property on the property of someone else, which...
Yeah. Seems housing from someone can have property on someone else's property. Just that's supposed to be a thing. Okay, we're okay with that.
Any property lawyer would immediately be able to tell you that is not possible.
Yeah, there you go. There's Zax's house. Okay, there's Zax's house on the left, and then there's my house. I went and built my place. There's me and Axie will be in there. Those are just my friends. They're over for a sec. But yeah, if Zax breaks this down, it's unlawful. He needs to make it up for me.
If you own property, you can lease your piece of that property to someone else, and that's called a limited real right. But that domain is yours. It is your property.
Yeah, you can, when you're leasing something, it's I own it, you're paying to inhabit it, yes, to use it, yeah.
And someone else cannot have an ownership right in your unencumbered
yes.
ownership right. That's one of the
Not Zaxi. Thanks for not demolishing my shack.
The issues that we see in South Africa.
And thanks for letting me use your Wi-Fi.
We see from desperately poor people who are not to blame. Not everyone is a lawyer or a jurist, but people.
No, guys, we had this discussion. The homeless lawyers are out there, and they are telling everybody what to do. Lekker slaap, Zaxi? Ja, lekker slaap.
Who have this idea that they can go onto the property of someone else or of the state to build a structure on that private property and then to say, this is mine. Mm-hmm. This is my property, and I have an entitlement to stay here until the state provides me with a house of my own. That is becoming an increasingly common perspective.
I have a right to be here, yeah.
Amongst many poor South Africans.
I have a right to be here, not on somebody else's property, but you have a right to be somewhere. And the government's being part of the reason you're homeless, yeah, it's their responsibility.
Encouraged by this reckless socialist intelligentsia class. But Section 26 must be seen for what it is. It is a constitutional.
I'm not sure about South Africa, but modest people buy income property and need the income from the property. In terms of if they lease it out, it's necessary for them. Then it's not just arbitrary. Oh, we just have this property. Well, even if that is, it's yours. Like you paid for something. It is yours. If that does not matter anymore, if me paying for something does not make it mine anymore because somebody else can just come and take it, then I'm going to just stay away from buying stuff in that country, from being in that country. So factories and things like that, they can become targets. It's just if we had to look at a risk profile for investment, for even just starting your own company, actually, you don't have to talk about investment from other countries, right? It's actually, if you were starting your own company, well, you wanted to make your own fucking racetrack. Oh, well, just so you know, this guy over here who spent 60 million rand on his racetrack, well, people just decided that they would, that this was a place that was supposed to be built up for no more rights for anyone anymore. Fuck it. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, that you have that to consider. Is this going to be good for my business or not? I don't think I'm going to start a business because fuck, things can be taken away from me and the law is not going to protect me. Maybe I should. That's why we have brain drain and just any person with money yeeting themselves out of South Africa, because the opportunities are scarce, and then if you go and take the risk, you might get fucked up by the circumstances.
Right. What is a constitutional right? It is a protection from state predation. It is a protection from coercion of the state and coercion by others.
It's supposed to be. So Section 26 is supposed to be protection from the state. From coercion by others, by the state and others. Okay, there's supposed to be protection. I bought a house, and after renting my whole life, it's kind of stuck. So I have to fix everything. Yeah, it's yours now, boy. I don't agree with the economic leeching through ownership. Eventually, it breeds a worker class and an owner class. More and more people can't own houses and must rent from the owner class. Yeah. I suppose technically we owned, in South Africa, we owned our apartments. We were paying a loan and would have been paying for many, many years. But we sold that property. But yeah, the bank owned our property. We were ready to pay to eventually own it. But yeah, that didn't pan out because we left. But we definitely are in a different position on this side of the world. Renting is basically it's the best way forward for you until you have enough money. And you might never have enough money to own your property.
But what is a constitutional right not? It is not an entitlement to freebies and goodies.
Yeah, it's not an entitlement, no.
And nothing in Section 26 really gives us the impression that is what it is.
Hey, does he have the same? Hey, he's got Steel Series. Woo! I had those headphones.
The provision does not say that the state must provide housing to South Africans. The provision does not say that you must be provided with housing or that everyone must be provided with housing. It says that everyone has the right to have access to.
Yeah. What is access, though? What do we talk about with access? What is access to how adequate housing? Access is I am able to go and buy it, or I'm able to go and rent. I'm not prohibited from that. What does access mean? What does having access to something mean? Access to adequate housing. What does it actually mean? Like, I need access to education. I need access to medical care, but who's going to provide it for me? It's not really accessible if I literally cannot buy. I cannot pay rent. And if the only thing that is accessible to me is I pay this shack mafia people that they are making sure that the squatting thing is happening, and then I pay rent for my shack on somebody else's property, and that's the only housing I have access to. I guess then job well done, government. But I suppose the adequate bit is where they fail.
That is not the same as saying that you will be provided with a piece of infrastructure. That is very much framed in what I would consider to be the terminology of a negative right. To say, as the Constitutional Court did acknowledge, at least in part, certainly not enough, but in part, in its Grootboom judgment, to say that in this right, there is the negative right, which says that this is a protection against you being put out of your house.
Okay. Negative rights. Protection against being taken out of your house. Okay. But yeah, okay, it's not that difficult to understand that you're not constitutionally required to give me a house.
Because why? The Constitution was adopted after a century more of state action that went into people's privately owned homes and evicted them from those homes and sent them to the native reserves, to the homelands.
The homelands, yes, that's I've forgotten that was another name for it. Not the location, because that was another word that they would use, but the homelands. Yeah, this is where you're supposed to go. This is the land. This is where you're only allowed to go, Mr. Black person.
kicked and demolished those houses in many respects, and then brought in another population group to live in that area. That is the political context in which Section 26 of the Constitution was adopted, to say that we're done with that. We're no longer going to allow the state to go onto people's property.
Just thinking about this though, if we're talking about you saying where were these rights during the events of District 9, just thinking about District, not District 9, but I saw a tweet the other day that was like, you know what, if we had a zombie apocalypse right now, there would be zombie rights activists. We know that. I'm just thinking that that's how it works. I need access to Section 8 vouchers. What are Section 8 vouchers? South Africa sounds complicated. I think just all politics is complicated. They're not. It's not special. It's
property, and to kick them out and put them elsewhere. If that
guys, shh, everybody pause. I can get the best viewers on StreamBoo. Remove the space.com. So just so you know, go and do that. I've totally done it. I did it for YouTube, right? So I did the StreamBoo YouTube. So Wade is a StreamBoo viewer. Exa Music is a StreamBoo viewer. Just you guys don't know, but I got all of you from StreamBoo. So yeah, you guys are the best viewers. Thank you very much. I went for the best viewers instead of the cheapest ones because that was also another thing advertised to me through Twitch is I could use a StreamBoo to get cheap viewers, but we're not for the cheap ones. So you guys are the premium cream of the crop ones. So thanks. Who is that old couple buying up all the farmland in the US? It's not just in housing. Well, oh, that they're just I don't know.
That is your property. If that is your property, if that is your home.
If it's your home, yes. But if it's my home and then you build something on top of my home, what can I do?
Then you must be secure in it. Your home is your castle.
No. My home. Why do you have a garden? You're not allowed to have a garden. I think it's you can only use the room that you're in. Okay, so if I come into your house and I choose one room that you're not in, it's mine. It becomes mine.
You may live there.
I decided.
Unmolested by the authorities, and certainly you may not be kicked out by criminals, even other civilians. And this is where this modern day perversion comes in. So unfortunately, we've had this process whereby the legal intelligentsia and unfortunately the courts have reconceptualized a constitutional right to operate in the 180-degree opposite direction than it is supposed.
Okay, so they've used the intelligentsia. They've used it in the opposite direction. Yes. Okay, they've used this negative right to say that you can just. It's the old conversation that you have whenever you bring up rights. Is a right? Does a right entitle you to something? Is it an active or a passive thing? Going on. So they've used, instead of we're protecting, they've used it to actually just invade and I suppose erode.
Supposed to be operating. It is supposed to protect people's spaces against invasion. And
check at the way the AI did the shanty on the side of the house, the shanties. That's an interesting state of events. I mean, it looks that disorganized and that disheveled anyway. But yeah, there we go. Here's Zaxi, and there is his house. And again, we just went and we built on top of it because you know what? Why the fuck not? Okay, he wasn't using the garden at the time.
In fact, it has been used to encourage, to enable invasion of people's own.
They're using the word invasion, guys. They're dehumanizing. They're dehumanizing
personal spaces.
All right, now that we know what the Constitution says, let's get back to Luyolo.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to Luyolo. So hold on. What else is Luyolo telling us about in terms of solutions? Okay, I know I'm going timelines, but this is what Luyolo was talking about, where his attempts to amend.
Also saying that, the process of getting an eviction order in court is quite a strenuous process.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a strenuous process and an expensive process. Yeah.
When a municipality sees illegal invasions, they will rather not take it to court because of the financial implications of taking it to court.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at how cool this is. Look how massive this toilet is. Okay, so is this a massive toilet or are these little shacks? Yeah. That is how it works in South Africa. This is the way it looks in South Africa as well. You can have just a wall like this and there was an open field and then you get actually we had this kind of thing. There was a patch of land by our complex. I think it's still like that. That had informal housing on it. And that was just it. I don't even remember how you got into that area, but that was it. It was directly across from us. And we in this pretty gated community and whatever, and it looked like it was smaller. It was like maybe three little dwellings. Yeah. Anyway, and there were chickens there at that point. That was fun. It was a great time to wake up to chickens. So Constitution, we are. He's just talking about.
And we all know that they'll not take it to court because of the financial.
Okay, so it's financial. Financial problem. Eviction is expensive for all involved. Okay. Do you go through other people's shacks to get your own? I'm pretty sure people do that.
Financial implications of taking it to court. And we all know that if people have invaded land, there is a responsibility to ensure that there's sanitation.
Responsibility to ensure there's sanitation? Okay, so if people have invaded land, we've got to go and make sure that they're not breeding plagues in there.
Electrification and the like.
Oh, yes, electrification. So if we do this a court order, okay, we have to find them. But the thing is, I'm not understanding. Earlier on, we were talking about it being the guy for Tigerberg, Chris. It was his responsibility to find alternative housing for the people squatting on his land. Now it's also got to do with the municipality. They're also involved. I'm okay with that. Hey, it's not my keyboard that types quickly. It's me. I grew up on the internet. I grew up in chat rooms, so that's why I know how to type. Which was fun when we got to school and people had to be teaching. They would put a dishcloth over our hands and we weren't able to look. So touch typing, I freaking aced that class. Okay, anyway, eviction court order is expensive for all involved. Sanitation. Now you're making me aware of my typing. Sanitation and electrification. Electricity. Did I even? Yeah, I can't even spell anymore. A couple underpasses went Berkeley and Oakland. Oh, it's wild. There's some random with just RVs and little shacks and shit like that. And this is in. The antwoord is what happens when people live so compressed. What? Oppressed. Be like daddy. Oh my goodness. I've only watched. I think I watched Chappie once, but I cringe just from hearing the lines from them.
And so we need to understand that all these things add up, and if we don't find a way to stop these invasions, we will have a bigger problem in this country than what we actually have right now.
Okay, how do we stop them? So we said the solution: stop. Hey, guys, the solution is stop the land invasions. We got it.
Now, we've seen in the past couple of years an increase in land invasions, unlawful occupations. There are people who are behind these land invasions. There are people who are taking private property by force. There are people who are taking state land by force. There are people who are taking land earmarked for progress, for housing, for the fulfillment of Section 26 by force. And we are simply saying those people need to face the might of the law. And so,
might of the law. Might of the law. What might of the law has occurred in South Africa? The mice of the law. What is happening? Stop the land invasion, invasion. Okay. Full might of the law. The people just law. Might of the law. Face the might of the law. This is something we always say. Our president said it yesterday. Ramaphosa said it yesterday. Shall I record a keyboard or something? No, it's just a very loud. This is my keyboard. It's just a very loud kitty cat keyboard. Kitty cat key thingies. It's a Keychron with chai's with chi sweet ho key thing, so you can see little kitty cats as well on it. So, and apparently my stabilizers are uneven, so my space bar makes a very clunky noise, according to keyboard experts. If you did it by yourself, okay. Keychron, I knew you were using a badass keyboard. Yeah. It was gifted to me by a keyboard obsessed man named Andrew. He's not a man, he's a fox.
So where the bill is right now is that on the 28th of May, it will serve in the portfolio committee.
Okay, 28th of May?
Where it right now is that on the 28th of May, it will serve in the portfolio committee.
Fucking committees, boys. Committees. Oh, look, there's some EFF committee people in the red there. Okay, so what, 28th of May, which is passed, of course. Portfolio committee.
Where it will be tested for desirability. And in essence, this is where the DA will make its case, together with the amendments that we are proposing on the Act to the Portfolio Committee, where there will be discussions amongst Portfolio Committee members who, of course, represent different political parties, where they'll be able to question.
Fucking committees, though. Okay.
Comment, and also be able to add any amendments that they want.
Okay, so we can go and look and see what happens. We can research this and see what came of this. Okay, we can format here. Just, you know what? I just appreciate you guys being around to hear me type. That's good. That's fun times.
And based on the support of the committee, and that needs to be in majority, will then the Act move forward in the parliamentary process.
On the 28th of May, 2025, the Democratic Alliance presented their private members'
look at
bill
him.
to
He
amend.
did it. Okay, cool. Because this came out like last week, guys. So I suppose he had time to add this.
In the
Parliamentary process.
On the 28th of May, 2025, the Democratic Alliance presented their private members' bill to amend the PI Act to Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements. Surprisingly, the Department of Human Settlements supported many of the DA's proposals.
Yay! The Democratic Alliance presented our progressive private members' bill to amend the Prevention of Illegal Eviction Act to the Portfolio Committee on Human Settlements on Wednesday. The amendments, if enacted, will play a crucial role in saving municipalities from buckling pressures created by unlawful occupations and land invasion. Same thing. The Department of Human Settlements delivered a presentation noting their support for many of the proposed amendments tabled by the DA. So yay, DA, Democratic Alliance doing stuff that's good. And what happened?
Now committed to a full review of the PI Act and plan to table their own amendment bill by March 2026. Another.
Okay, March 2026, motherfucker. Okay, so amendments to be proposed amendments by the committee. Amendments to be tabled by the committee by March 2026. Shit, the wheels of government they churn really slowly.
Political party offering a solution is the Referendum Party. But unlike the DA, they're not pushing for a national reform. They're taking a provincial route, aiming to repeal and replace the PI Act only in the Western Cape.
Ooh, oh, okay. Western Cape does that. You see, Western Cape's like, fine. We can't change the law there across the whole thing. Fine, we'll do it provincially, which I believe is what we had with weed in Western Cape. I don't know what the state of it is now, but Western Cape was more progressive in terms of weed legalization than than the rest of the country. So that this leans more towards that Cape succession thing, where basically they are just changing their laws so that it really is different to live. It really is a different country when you get to Western Cape. There are different laws there. Western Cape wants to go to independent. It seems like it's growing. Mushrooms next? I don't know. I don't know what their policy on mushrooms is. Oh, Thailand is about to stop legal weed. Why? It'd be interesting to think of the league. Oh, that's a good think. Legalization, drug legalization. Is a good think topic. Okay. So now, who wants? Sorry, let's say who wants to go.
My name is Robert King, and I am on the executive committee of the referendum party, and I was on.
And you do not sound South African, but you know, why would you come to South Africa after this? DA attempting amendments. Referendum party. Going for this is governmental. So DA is trying for national change. Referendum is trying for provincial. Western Cape. Okay.
Our lead candidates in the 2024 elections. So let me just give some background on the.
It's very weird to hear him.
The illegal settlement issue in South Africa, and particularly the Western Cape, to start off with. So prior to the PI Act in the 1990s, a lot of this was based on apartheid era legislation.
Okay, so this is a repeat of the stuff. It was all based on apartheid era.
So we had something called, I believe, the Prevention of Legal Squatting Act that was in place. And this criminalized illegal land invasions almost in its entirety. So if you didn't own the land and you put up a dwelling on that property, you could be evicted without a court order.
Okay, yeah, okay, you could be evicted without a court order. Okay, that's fine.
Now, obviously, this is a complicated matter, and you do have vulnerable people. And
when
be
was
evicted
this? Hold on.
In its entirety, act that was in place, apartheid era legislation. So we had something called, I believe, the Prevention of Legal Squatting Act that was in place. And this criminalized illegal land invasions almost in its entirety. So if you didn't own the land and you put up a dwelling on that property.
Yes, and now we used to have that, but now we have this thing that's made the eviction notice, eviction court order necessary.
You could be evicted without a court order. Now, obviously, this is a complicated matter, and you do have vulnerable people, and you do have complexities there. So there were people who implemented the Prevention of Illegal Evictions Act in the mid-1990s to provide protections to people living on these lands. And while it was good intentioned, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And we've seen in the Western Cape as a result now, certainly in the last few decades.
Danoon. Interesting example. So the good intentions law was changed for good intentions. Prevention legal squatting moved to PI Act for good intentions. Okay, and then we've got the new as an example.
Decades. But we've
wow! Hey, Zaxi. So if we just go into so here's the new. So there's I suppose Zaxi lived here. So we got Zaxi where my mouse is, okay, and then
Western Cape as a result now.
So imagine he lived there where the mouse is, okay, and then
certainly in the last few decades, but we've seen an.
How do you take that many people out? How do you take them away?
Escalation in the number of.
Where do you put them?
Illegal land invasions taking place. And what we're saying primarily, the main focus with our legislation is redefining what a home is. And it focuses.
Okay, so that what they want to do, don't do an example. They're proposing proposing to the meaning of home. Mzansi for sure.
This is on prior consent that existed when that dwelling was set up. So if you put your dwelling on a property and you had no permission to do so, then at no point can that be considered a home. And
Okay, so yeah, hey, even though your home is a home, it's a dwelling, you need permission to put up a dwelling before it's considered, or in order for it to be considered a home. Okay.
as a result, the protections in place.
Oh, we don't need people in cities anymore. Yeah, because of industrialization. But that doesn't matter. People still move from cities because rural areas just have no service delivery whatsoever. They have absolutely nothing. So there's still cities as a resource, or considered as a resource, because there's nothing in the rural areas. And then just think about our lovely situation when it comes to Starlink. Okay, I don't know about Starlink changing South Africa, because I don't know about people actually being able to afford it initially. But yeah, imagine having internet and electricity out in the rural areas. That's pretty cool. We would have the developmental. We would have development, but things like BEE are preventing that kind of investment in South Africa.
For you fall away under the PI Act. The municipalities are given this mandate to find alternative accommodation. Now we want to redefine that, so it's more, there isn't that requirement to give alternative accommodation if they never had permission in the first place.
Oh, so they're like, yeah, we don't. If they never had permission, it's not the government's responsibility to provide alternative housing. Okay, so I think the reason for wanting that, the way that's, the reason you would want that to happen is to de-incentivize doing this. Like, we are not, because this is what was discussed in part one, is this is kind of incentivizing people to squat and do this, because they will eventually get land. Essentially, they will get home housing from government if they do this, or they have the shack, so it doesn't matter. At least I've got somewhere to live when I'm squatting. Cool, I have my shack. But hey, there is also the possibility and the promise that eventually, because this land that I'm squatting on is earmarked for RDP development, I will get a house. And that just doesn't happen. There's people that have been waiting for houses since 1996. 1996.
So that's one change. We also want to take inspiration from things like the DA's bill to criminalize incitement to invade land, or
Okay, so they do want to also do the criminalizing incitement. That's interesting. Again, I don't know how we do this in law. Criminalizing incitement. What counts as incitement? How many people have to hear you incite this for it to be incitement? Does somebody have to act on it, or is it just giving people the idea? We have freedom of speech, but incitement. Well, we don't have freedom of speech. There's theoretical freedom of speech in South Africa.
The areas where the referendum parties bill aims to improve the situation in the Western Cape. And look, at the end of the day, we're not going back to the pre-1994 system. So you've still got
Oh, no. You see, we're not going back to the pre-1994 system, but that's how it's going to be perceived and sold to the public. That's what happens when you try and change anything in the fucking country. As soon as you're trying to change what, say, the ANC put forward, you are bringing back apartheid. And that fear is deep inside all of the people. And they are very indebted to the ANC for the struggle. And they are not going to vote for this, because it's just the white people. It's all the white people doing this. Even if a black person comes up with the idea, sorry for you, it's the black people working for the white people. This is not good for us. We completely oppose it.
The pre-1996 system, I think it was, you've still got a court process that needs to be taken into consideration, even though the bill seeks to limit where alternative accommodation can be provided, because
Okay, so he is saying it's not, they want to propose a change for the meaning of home, but then also want to, it is still use of court, so court is still, court order is still required, but the application is altered. Okay, that's what they want. So they're not going back, but it is usually just framed as that. Just normally, that's it. You're going to go to apartheid days. If you vote in the DA, if you vote in anyone but the ANC, you're going to go into apartheid days.
it doesn't make sense to give it to everyone. It still allows for alternative accommodation to be provided in certain circumstances. And I think that's actually the best way to go about it.
Okay, so he even says some permission to, if they never had permission, it's not the government's responsibility. Still, some cases allow, do, I like how vague that is, do allow for alternative housing to be necessary. So I don't know what cases that would be.
Is looking at the people who are vulnerable and giving it in those situations. But I believe that's not the case in the vast majority of cases. And indeed, another area of the bill that we hope will improve the situation is it will lead to expedited evictions in areas where there's a clear environmental or public safety risk. So that
that's another selling point he's trying to say is that, oh, we expedite it and we make it faster. Okay, expedited evictions equals safer people. Equals safer people. You know what? There is. I actually wonder how the raceway is doing right now because, okay, we call it the raceway, but it's now a squatter camp, right? The people, like we said in the beginning of the documentary, the people, the raceway is actually not a very good place for dwelling anyway because of the water and flooding. They put a lot of money into drainage and things like that for this raceway to occur. But seriously, part of even one of the clips we did in part 1 was about flooding. So it's like people are being incentivized to go and dwell in these places that it's not safe for them. But hey, no matter, it's fine. We'll just hey, they've got something, they've got housing. I guess we pray at the end of this, guys. We just have a bit of a pray.
That includes railway lines, wetlands, nature reserves. So in those areas, it will actually put us in a stronger position to advance those evictions. And it should streamline those for court cases that are going through the courts. We also don't oppose the DA in their efforts at the national level to change this.
We don't oppose the DA, so they don't oppose the DA. That's nice. They're just trying to do their own thing, I suppose.
If they can present these changes at the national level, do it. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be harder to make a change in a parliament where about 2/3 of the members or more are communists that actually agree with
Yes, good boy. 2/3 of the people there are just communists who agree that the government needs to just give us housing. You lacquer. That was great. Let's go back.
Of land. It's going to be harder to make a change in a parliament where about 2/3 of the members or more are communists that actually agree with land invaders. Then it's going to
yeah, you know what? Go for it, DA. Go for it. But it'll be more difficult on a national level. This boy is what? He's like 10 years, 5 years younger than me. And he's spitting facts. There's so much mad respect I have for him saying that.
To be about 2/3 of the members or more are communists actually agree with land invaders. Then it's going to be in a parliament.
I just want to say that 2/3 or more of the parliament are communists. Communists who agree with land invaders. Until you go and invade their land, go and sit on Ramaphosa's lawn. See how it goes. I think people are planning that sort of stuff. I'll ask Joe, see if he's doing that. Maybe he can't he can neither confirm nor deny that. No, I'm implicating. But seriously, people on Twitter, okay, have said, and Twitter is real life. They've said that they're going to go and do that. So just think about it.
Where the DA actually already holds a majority. But the important thing you have to remember when it comes to housing policy is it's a legislative authority that's concurrent between national and provincial government. So provincial governments and provincial parliaments have a right to make changes to housing policy in the Western Cape. And what we're saying is, look, you might have to make lots of compromises at the national level with people who fundamentally don't want to see any changes on this.
Yeah. So basically just repeating himself. The people don't actually want to see change. But hey, on the provincial level, which of course Cape referendum is, hey, can we step out of South Africa? We are our own country. Why not? Lesotho has what's the name? Starlink. Okay. And if Western Cape decided to be Western Cape a country all on its own, it would be the same sort of smaller area equals country. Boom. Succession. Let's go. But then what I would want to know is how many, I could see if they did succession, if they actually left, a lot of South African citizens would be like, oh, let me in, hold on, let me in. Because a lot of people, if they can't leave the country, they do consider moving to Cape Town. That is the best alternative, is moving to Cape Town. And then again, Cape Town is also fraught with violence. So yeah. I don't know. A lot of people that have left South Africa would only return, including us, would only return to live in Cape Town. That's the change. We're not returning to go and live in Durban. We're not returning to go and live in Joburg. Joburg, where I lived my whole life, no, not going there. It would only be to live in Cape Town, because you're supposed to live better than you did when you left.
The DA is going to have to make a choice. Are they going to continue to go along the same old path where they allow illegal land invasions to continue because they're almost afraid to take advantage of their position in the provincial parliament?
I like the shots the subtle shots he's taking at shots fired. Small subtle shots fired at DA. Are they going to just continue because they're almost scared? Scared to take on the challenge. Okay.
To present legislation, or are they going to be bold and actually, agree with this bill?
The DA's have got no balls. No balls. Okay, they almost had some balls, but no, they didn't have balls.
Pass it and make it law in the Western Cape. And I can tell you, I think it will be a very interesting debate that's going to unfold when that happens, not just outside of the DA and the general public, but within the DA as well, because we've got a lot of people in the DA who actually support us on this endeavour. In order to have a
very interesting, very cool. We have a lot of people in the DA. Also, I'm just like, why is Boy in South Africa if he's from the UK? Like, what made you come back? What's happening? Why are you here? Like, I'm happy you're here. Go for it. But your accent, were you educated in the UK? What is this?
Society or a civilization or a country that's going to be successful, that's going to be one which you can leave to your children and your grandchildren. You need to have a respect for property rights there. Otherwise, we've seen with Zimbabwe, we've seen with...
Oh, but that doesn't matter. You're just being racist. Dismissed!
Large parts of the world, when that doesn't exist, everything else falls apart. And when it comes to property rights, we need to start going onto the offensive with it.
Okay.
And when it comes...
Support our illegal settlements bill. So go to, boys, this is what you can do. You can go to the, I suppose this is their website. Let's see.
To our illegal settlements bill, this is an opportunity in the Western Cape to turn the tide on property rights, to start going on the offensive. And if we can score a win here, if we can put pressure on the politicians, not in Pretoria, but in Cape Town, to
support referendum parties, illegal settlements act. I don't know if I can support it. I'm not in I'm not registered in the Western Cape. I don't live there. I don't live in South Africa anymore.
Accept this bill, we can start turning the tide, we can start making a change in the Western Cape, and then
Make a change and break away.
once we've got that momentum, we can start winning in other areas as well. So we can look at the expropriation bill, see what opportunities there are. We can look at other concurrent areas of policy.
I don't know about the expropriation bill. Just also look at the expropriation bill. The expropriation bill is next, boys.
In the Western Cape Parliament, and see where can we take power back from Pretoria, and we can actually start to build a future
Take power from Pretoria.
in the Western Cape that serves the people here, not the insane ideological political endeavours of Marxist politicians.
Yes, just why not put a cherry on top Marxist politicians? They literally call each other comrade, guys. They don't even hide it.
In the union buildings.
Insane socialist ideology. That's not an exaggeration. And while I'm glad to see parties fighting to amend or replace the PI Act, I can't help but wonder, is it too late? What solution?
Ooh, that's true. Thank you. That's where I'm at. Like, look, all very nice, cool. Is it a bit too late? Yeah. It's pretty shit where it is now, but we can't give up. You can't just not do anything, right? I hope that's what his message is.
Solutions are left for the raceway. When I asked the city,
Oh yeah, for too late for the raceway. Absolutely, it's too late. I mean, it's a lost cause. That guy, it's been, what, 5 years? No.
if they had a resolution in place or a plan to fix the situation, here's what they had to say. There's no formal, legal, or developmental plans currently underway. The Informal Settlements Department is exploring options, either to acquire new land to relocate the occupiers or to incrementally upgrade the current settlement. But no decision has been taken.
Nothing has fucking happened. Good times. All ideologies have their issues. Yeah, they do. All power structures have their issue. And we cannot live in a world without power. It's just not how that works. We can't erase power from dynamics. That's just not how it's not possible. All you can do is change what consists of power, what is considered power. But power itself, not something you can remove from society. From any sort of interaction between entities. So he's saying they've done nothing. They're like, oh, we're looking into it, boys. We're looking into it to so is it too late for the raceway? Let's put this here. That's what he's asking. Okay, so we did do solutions essentially. We're trying, and then too late the raceway. Literally nothing's going on. They're considering alternative housing and also considering upgrading the housing, the settlement itself. Cool, but your raceway is, it's fucked. Sorry, you can't have it. So either we move them away and then you have to rebuild on top of that, and good luck to you for that, or we upgrade it, they stay there, you go and look for some alternative place to build your raceway. And then, you know what, make sure that this 60 million that you're going to spend on it, just try and make sure that your fences are higher and harder to break down. Cool. Maybe that'll help.
It's been 5 years. If you haven't found a solution to the raceway yet, you're not gonna find a solution. And across the country, land invasions are happening again. And
land grabbers move onto East London Farm. More than 1,000 people earmark 700 plots. You see, when it's like 1,000 people, what the fuck do you do, boys? You can't have a whole freaking massacre. Claiming they have waited 30 years for housing. And you know what? It's your problem, Koos. Your farm in East London, okay? It's your problem that because they didn't have any housing. It becomes your problem. You didn't vote for this shit. No, you did not. But who cares? You're still fucked.
And again, but I don't think people fully understand what is really being lost. When I look back at the raceway, it's not just about land. It's about a community, a history, a passion. Gary Fleming, a veteran motorsport commentator, helped put that loss into perspective, not just for racing fans, but for South Africa as a whole. Okay,
so the raceway is important. This is just reiterating the the loss that you have. It's not just Chris's farm that you're losing. It's a whole community thing. This wasn't just some dude who had a lot of land and who was privileged. It's like this was actually a functioning part of the community that was stolen, which makes it more poignant as an example, I suppose.
Gary Fleming, and pretty much involved with motorsport all the years from a commentary point of view, and I have my own live show that I do on Facebook on Motorsport once a week as well.
Go watch it, boys. Emphasis on, I know I'm saying a little bit too much, but now you guys made me aware of it, so now I'm doing it more. So my brain's like pressing this boys button a lot. I don't know, man. I'll get over it, hopefully. Emphasis on the value of what has been lost at the raceway. And I would say helps us to see this as more of a loss, more of a community loss than just one guy losing his property. Okay. Will they do land acknowledgement ceremony though? Ah, that's great. You know what? I wonder if anyone in South Africa is. I must check. Shit, I missed the Gareth Cliff show yesterday. Yeah, but what is today? Today's Thursday. Yeah, I'll see the show tomorrow, and I'll ask. Does anyone in South Africa do land acknowledgements? That's pretty funny. I wonder if we should start doing that. See how it goes in South Africa. We're on stolen land. We would like to acknowledge that the Khoisan were here, and they are no longer here. I want to see.
In the latter years, well, there's actually two great losses. One was the biggest, most modern oval track motorsport facility at that point in.
That looks freaking magnificent, guys. Aren't you Americans like, yeah, turn left? Look at this. Come on. That's pretty cool, right? That is very cool. That is quite a loss, I would say, even though I never even heard of it. Obviously, I'm not a Cape Townian. Okay.
South Africa is the one side of it, and the other side is what the local community lost in terms of income, because every time.
Yeah. That's an income. That's a place where people can work. But as you see, that's not the same as 1,500 people, though. That's not going to house 1,500 people. It'll pay a few people, maybe like 100 people will be employed from there. But I guess, okay, if we're having events and things like that, it is quite a it is still quite a revenue driver. I would like that. Now that's a crafted beer belly. Yeah, that's a beer boop. I'm a cyclist, more into indoor cycling tracks. So you don't do outdoor cycling? My dad does it. He's one of the hated cyclists, you know, the ones that are that irritate drivers. Beer and biltong, yeah. Guys, I'm properly trying to make my diet a bit more strict, but there is beef jerky and biltong downstairs, and I'm often just looking at it like biltong and beef jerky taste stream every time I walk past it, and this is a problem. I would have to fast for like 3 days and then do it.
Time that you have a race meeting, everybody.
Tour de France is coming in days. Oh, mamma mia! My dad is not going to stop talking about it. Oh, and there's an Italian, and the Italian is in the, because we're Italian and South African, right? Now the Italian is over here, and then our South African's over here, and I'm not watching, but I'm very interested. Dad, please tell me more. If my husband got involved in it, then I would probably end up having to be interested in it, because we're on the TV all the time. But at the moment, we are into motorsports. There we go. Both of those are healthy. Well, they're a lot healthier than crisps.
Yeah. Scores in the nearby area, from accommodation through food, through alcohol, through petrol, through everything.
Alcohol, yeah, he knows about the alcohol, boys.
And
sorry,
it goes even further than that.
I'm irritating myself now. 2019, that was literally before. Man, imagine if you had like a Top Gear episode there.
Because if you don't have a decent facility, people won't build racing cars. If you've got a great facility and people love it, they'll end up spending money building a racing car. So the
Oh, look at it. It just looks so like such a good time.
financial implications is just a portion of losing the best circuit, arguably ever in South Africa.
Oh, I'm irritated. Look, seriously, I often irritate myself. Crisps. We say chips in SA. I'm changing my vocabulary for people to be understood. Rick and Barbie. Oh my gosh, you know what? Oh, I want to watch Talladega Nights.
In terms of oval track racing, there was lots of youngsters. A lot of the youngsters that started at Tigerberg Raceway are the stars of not only oval track but main circuit racing today. You've got to
really. Please tell me that that guy that made it to Formula One was from here. Come on, tell me. It will make so much sense. It will rhyme. The simulation will be winking at me.
Start somewhere to get into motorsport, and a lot of the people that start in oval track racing stay with oval. A lot of people that start with oval track racing because that's where they can afford.
I honestly didn't know we did oval track racing in South Africa. But I guess that's because I'm South African. I'm from Joburg. The only race course that I know anything about is Kyalami. And Kyalami is where all the stuff happened. It's where we did have Formula One at some stage. But yeah, when Top Gear came to South Africa, they didn't go anywhere near. Well, they couldn't. No, I think there would have been the Tigerberg. It would have been around. When was Top Gear's festival in South Africa? When was Top Gear festival in South Africa? 16th, 17th of June. Oh, it's actually happening still. No, when was it? It was in Durban, 2013. Okay, so we had it in 2011. It was was it 2011? 2013? Okay. Let me just hold on. Was it at Kyalami? South Africa, Kyalami. Kyalami. Completely whacked by the ferocious wine of powerful end, 17th of March. Yeah, this was. Just hold on. Top Gear goes to Kyalami. So this is all I knew about racing when Top Gear came here. No pictures, ne? Great stuff. Either way, yeah, that's where I was. Let's go Kyalami. Race track. This is the only thing I knew about it. I suppose this is what they're trying to revive in Kyalami. They want to make it a Formula One. This Mackenzie is busy trying to make it the destination. They're trying to get it for 2026, apparently. The latest massive upgrades to Kyalami. Can you imagine, guys, an F1 race? Does anyone watch F1 here? Can you imagine an F1 race? Yeah, that would be freaking cool. Anyway, that's what I thought. That I'd had no other sense of a racetrack. So imagine losing Kyalami racetrack. So like Joburg people, if Kyalami was just overrun and just properly just squatted, burnt, and that's it. Everyone wants to come to come. Yeah, it would be great there, but they have to up their game. They have to make it. They need to be able to withstand the influx. It would be a great thing for tourism because people follow the races around. Formula what would be Formula One? Tom Cruise, use your witchcraft to get the fire off me. Does that happen in the Formula One movie?
to get in, migrate to main circuit racing, which is another multi-million rand industry in its own right. You've got to have the grassroots, our grassroots.
That gives me hope. Okay, yes, it's gone, but it's like, imagine we did FIFA in 2010. We kind of did it, and then nothing. I remember when they announced that we were going to get the World Cup, people acted like our country was saved, that it was going to be the best thing that has ever happened to us, that our country would become developed because of 2010, because of the FIFA World Cup coming to us. And it was nice, it was great, but Vuvuzela PTSD intensifies. And you know what was so sad? It's just all those monuments and things that were made for 2010 getting old and dilapidated, not maintained, nothing like that. Whereas I suppose they had Expo 2020 here in Dubai, and there's a whole Expo City that they're not just leaving to rot. Expo City is not just rotted and gone now because we're done with it. That they used it as, okay, that's cool. We have this reason to build it, and let's continue. So yeah, the sadness. But then this makes me happy. Like, yeah, South Africa is just so fucking, it's rich in culture. It's alive with possibility.
Is not there anymore. And it's affecting the sport as a whole. You have to have that basis to bring the kids, the family side of it as well. The whole place is marketed from a family point of view, family entertainment.
Look at these boops. All of these, look at all these spectacular beer boops. Where are they supposed to go? Where are all these boops supposed to go? Where are all these worms going to go and watch racing? Look at these beautiful, majestic bodies over here. And look, we have some Springbok jerseys as well. Look at you. Look what we lost.
We had a national meeting the one year that we said to people before the time, make sure you come early. You can only accommodate so many people and no more.
Yeah, imagine saying that in Kalami for the F1. Like, listen, we can only have 1,000 people here. I think it was Comic-Con that we had it. It wasn't Kalami. Where did we have it? The Gallagher Estate? Something like that. When we try and do international stuff, it's insane. But we try hard.
That the fire department eventually said, you cannot let any more people into the ground, because if something happens, a car catches a light in this parking area, what have you, there's just too much congestion. You can't get everybody in and out. They were actually closed. Yes,
we do have that. That is safety. For events, you do need safety. But I like that as a measure of, this is how busy we were. We were so busy that we needed safety measures.
The gates, that people parked in the roadway outside, and they were allowed to walk in, and they stood between the grandstands to come and watch. That's the level that we were at when everything came to an end. So it wasn't what it could be. It was already. It could have gone even bigger than what it was. If we just built more.
I've been to Dubai. It feels so fake to me. Sorry you have to live there. Don't feel sorry for me. I really enjoy it. You concur. It is, look, there is a lot that it's all manufactured, absolutely. But it's still a great place to live. So I'm serious about that.
All grandstands, and have bigger parking areas and bigger access roads, more caterers.
It's like they made this stuff in the middle of the desert. Yeah, they did. They made it because it doesn't occur there. Yes, it's not natural, but you get the privilege of the trees and everything. It is. I still find it beautiful, and because of the freedom, I've actually got to enjoy the place without the fear of crime. Yeah, that's part of, if we're weighing up pros and cons. Yeah, the grass being watered by automated sprinklers and things like that. yeah, that's very artificial, but I can still go and walk on that grass, and there's still children playing at the park and whatever. It's the pros and cons. The pros outweigh the cons for me.
It was all there to be had. So what's happening now is the wealth that was being brought from out of town into Cape Town environment, it's now being spent on people going to Worcester and to
they're going to Worcester, which is not in South Africa.
Saldanha. And that traveling is also very, very expensive. And that is causing that we've got dwindling numbers at this stage of the fight in the sport. We need a track in Cape Town again. We need a top facility in Cape.
There is no reason for people to struggle in SA. We have everything here. Guys, if you guys even realize, like, the things that you have to deal with in America, like earthquakes and shit like that, what the fuck? Okay? Your weather, cuck. Absolutely cuck. Oh, you get a little bit of cold, nice cold in South Africa. Yes, it can be really bad, but you're not going to get blizzards. Okay? Your heat is also going to be quite hectic, but it's not going to be like Dubai heat. Okay? It's a beautiful place. It in terms of the resources that you actually have available to you and the risk assessment in terms of the land itself. Good stuff. Tornadoes. Yeah, I don't really have tornadoes. There was a hurricane, they called it, by the coast. But yeah, and we when you do build a house, when you do actually build a house, you build it in brick, which is also another awesome thing. Try it.
Cape Town, to keep that wealth in Cape Town, to keep that wealth in our municipalities. And then also, once you've got that, you'll once again get into that cycle of let's build a racing car. That's a whole industry on its own, which
just the idea. It's a gorgeous piece of real estate. You know what? If I'm just going to go back to my diagram here, it's just the value of the emphasis on the value of what's been lost at the raceway. A little bit of it's giving me hope, like racing industry. Benefits of the racing industry. Being in the area. So if this is just one example of what could happen, and if you have other stories like this, it's it's just gonna what other industries are being affected in this way? It's an easy question to start asking.
Also gives people employment, which is a dying concern at the moment now because we don't have a racetrack.
If you go through all the towns, like Cape Town,
now that is not even a boop, okay? That's more than a boop. You go through all the towns, take Cape Town, say Kraaifontein, it's got a rugby field, it's got a soccer field.
Kraaifontein, it's got a rugby field, it's got a soccer field, it's got tennis fields.
See, we call it soccer. See, South Africans, I know that the English South Africans say football, like Englishmen, because there's overlap with the English and Africa, or in English and South African culture, but we do call it soccer, which is so strange. We call it soccer like an American would call it soccer. It's weird. Rugby doesn't make sense to you? It should. It's what a sport. I don't know fuck all about the rules really. It's just no forward passes, I suppose, is all I can say. But it's so much fun to watch. Okay, just go and look at some tackle clip compilations. Fucking amazing.
Who built it? The city. You go to Brackenfell, soccer field.
Brackenfell. It's the velodrome, isn't it?
Field. Everyone gets field from the city. Why not Motorsport? They can.
Yeah. Why didn't the city? Hey, city could make. Why not Motorsport? Okay, city. Government needs to support motorsport. Okay, motorsport is it?
Just give us one racetrack.
Okay, so this is about Wade's talking about playing rugby, and I guess playing rugby is a whole other experience I cannot relate to because I'm a girl, and also just even touch rugby is too scary for me. I don't run, I don't do shit like that. I don't move. What is this? Although we're trying to get me to run. Okay, it's just I've got to build up my hip flexors and things before I can run without killing myself. But yeah, rugby, fun to watch. So at least I'll say that.
in Cape Town. Give us one facility for spinning, for oval track, for drags. We must build it out of our own pockets.
Yeah, I love how he gestures to his own pocket for it. We must build it out of our own pockets. Maar our own pockets. Ons eie pockets. I don't know what a pocket is in Afrikaans.
Then we must build our own cars. Cost
Ons eie motors.
us 500 to million a car.
Okay, I don't know how other governments do it. Okay, they need to support motorsport, build racetracks, sponsor building cars. I don't know if other governments do that. We can look it up.
And Mikael Liebenberg must bring the people from overseas to compete, to get Springbok colors.
Ooh, Springbok color. Can you imagine Springbok racing, boys?
When I do that, I must put on the newspaper, South Africa. I can't say Liebenberg. I must say South Africa.
Oh yeah. So if he makes it happen, that's true. If he makes it happen, he doesn't get credit for it. It's also like, oh, this is a great win for South African motor racing. It's like, yeah, but it's private South African motor racing. What Mark? They said an Afrikaner long game called Rentia van Zyl in England. I know Van Zyl is a very Afrikaans name as well. Yeah, Van Zyl.
Against USA, against UK, but I get no help, not 1 cent from the city or the government.
Or the government, but they bring All Blacks or any other team. If it's soccer, rugby, tennis, you name it. Listen, speak to Mackenzie.
But if they bring the All Blacks or any other team, if it's soccer, rugby, tennis,
the All Blacks are a rugby team. Relax, calm down.
call it. Who paid for that? The city of the government. But motorsport, we must do it out of our own pockets. Why?
Because the government is busy stealing in other. And guess what, Chris? If they did take the responsibility, if they did do that, they would steal. They would use it to steal money. They would do that anyway. There would still be corruption. Okay, that's it. That's how it would go. But hey, like I said, get some nice corrupt people that know that they got to keep the cow alive while they milk it. Then we're good.
Why must we treat different against other sports?
Discrimination. There's discrimination against the sports and motorsports. No, for real, it is something that you would want to enrich. And looking at just the culture that actually, yes, people just want to live and do shit in South Africa. And one of those things of shit that they can do is motorsport.
Why? It's not right in my eyes.
There is no comparison anywhere in South Africa to what Tigerberg Raceway was.
Okay.
There's nobody's been able to build. There are some good circuits.
Okay, so we're spending a lot of time just making you feel things about the raceway. Cool.
In fact, where they are trying to build another Tigerberg Raceway in terms of stands and embankments and put area sizes and sound systems and what have you. But it's just not there anymore, unfortunately.
Are they rebuilding it? I don't know. I think rebuilding it also just puts it under fire that somebody else will come and do exactly the same thing over again. Because you're lifting it up as this mascot and this positivity. It seems like anytime someone's trying to make a positive change, that will be the battleground for the people that want to keep things the same, that want to keep everybody under the thumb of government. Just want to keep everybody poor, keep everybody angry. That's what will happen. So you will become the tallest daisy, and you will get trimmed the fuck out if you try this again.
Absolutely. So it's a dying sport right now. It's not in good form at all. If we could build 3 decent circuits spread out around South Africa and have proper facilities, you'd have a boom in car building and prep and maintenance and what have you.
Interesting. Maybe because we're focusing on the rich man sport, Formula One, okay, getting that a big hype, because that's what happens. Formula One is the height of the racing, but then the cheaper you start with go-karting, but even go-karting itself is expensive. But yeah, having the pinnacle developed might bring in money for developing the developing sort of races. I don't know much about it, but just from my normie exposure to, okay, it's not that normie exposure, but girl exposure to Formula One, it seems like that would work. It would be a good thing. So let's see what Mr. McKenzie is busy doing.
Which is a whole industry in its own right. It employs so many people. There's a lot of people that are now unemployed because of the motorsport industry in the situation that it's at.
Motorsport is a private sector. I don't think other governments around the world do development programs and things like that. And I don't think, it's a sport. I understand.
What South Africa has lost because of this land.
Was your food technology, as long as your food technology teacher was a good teacher, okay? We want that. We should try get a World Cup again. That would make a huge impact. I don't know if I think if we got a Formula One, we would be a lot more, if we became a Formula One destination, we would be a lot more, we would be in a better position, I feel like. Because it's like, look how well we handle Formula One,
Invasion is greater than a raceway. It's a loss of community, opportunity, and justice. And what's worse, nothing's been done to make it right. The Tygerberg Raceway invasion wasn't a simple case of people looking for land. It was a perfect storm. COVID-19 lockdowns that froze evictions, a crippled court system, police with their hands tied, and worst of all, a piece of legislation called the PI Act.
What the hell was that? Let's have a look at those
court
inscriptions,
system,
boys.
Police with their hands tied.
Okay. Police with their hands tied. We are on the highest quality, but my internet, let's see. What are people writing? 201, 207. Is this was all like parts of for the racetrack, I suppose.
And worst of all,
Aleta Leone. Did someone say Duas there? 3 Sasha. So everybody got to like sign the wall. Oh, that's so shit. Because it's just this wall just standing there, this wall of memories. Like, oh, that's sad. 207, 57. There's a Garfield, it looks like.
A piece of legislation called...
There's a Garfield there. Look at all the signatures and stuff. Just a nice, rich... Isn't 63? Isn't that Marquez? But I mean, everybody has different names. I love that it's Aleta. Graffiti. Okay, go down. Go down, fat one.
Called the PI Act. An act that claims to protect the vulnerable, but ends up protecting land invaders while punishing law.
Yeah, so this is, guys, just a reminder. If you weren't here for part 1, this is not just we come in and we make our shack and whatever. We're burning what's on your land as well. So that's what's happened. That they went in, they fucked your shit up like that. That's a pizza oven, boys. Come on, man. We can't have nice things.
Law-abiding property owners. And now the Expropriation Act has been signed into law, giving government sweep.
Public interest includes nations' commitment to land reform, yes. So the Expropriation Act means we can take it from you, bringing out about equitable access to all South Africa's natural resources in order to redress the results of the past racial discriminatory law practices. Yes, absolutely, because the government is for you. The government is for the people. Don't worry, people. Everything will be okay. The ANC has got you. We will use this act as intended.
Sweeping powers to seize land under vague terms like public interest. What stops them from looking at a place like this, declaring it inhumane and taking it? No compensation, no accountability. The act gives a few reasons.
It's inhumane and they can take it from you? Oh, well, no, they'll take it from other people that are not complying or something. They'll find another way. But they could. The thing is, what's stopping government? Nothing. It may be just an equitable for nil compensation to be paid. It may be just an equitable for nil compensation to be paid where land is expropriated in the public interest, having regard to all relevant circumstances, including, but not limited to, I think you should have something limited to when you're defining a law. But okay, where the land is not being used and the owner's main purpose is not to develop land or use it to generate income, but to benefit from appreciation of its market value. Okay, bro, if we're looking at the land itself, this wasn't what's happened. It wasn't expropriated from them by the government, but this is just an idea. So say Chris's racetrack, that is being used. That would preclude them. You're not supposed to, right? You're not supposed to be able to take the land away. But the thing is, if you are using that as grazing land or whatever, they'll be like, yeah, no, you're just kind of waiting for it to appreciate in its market value. And also, who gives a fuck? It's my property. If I want to sit and hold my property until the market value increases, fuck you, it's mine. What? Okay, but anyway, they're like, no, you know what? Actually, you can't do that. Where an organ of state holds land that is not using for its core functions and is not reasonably likely to require the land for its future activities. In that regard, and the organ of state acquired the land for no consideration. Okay. Notwithstanding registration of ownership in terms of deeds registries, where an owner has abandoned the land by failing to exercise control over it despite being reasonably capable of doing so. Okay. So we can just all laws can be exploited. Actually, just anything that is written down, you can just fuck around with language and you're good. Where the market value of the land is equivalent to or less than the present value of the direct state investment or subsidy in the acquisition. Okay, so yeah, that's
reasons for expropriation without compensation, but there's a part there that says it's not limited to these reasons. That should terrify every property owner in this country.
Mm-hmm. It's not limited to. It's like these, but you know what?
I'm not saying the government will do it. I'm saying
they can. Yes, that's exactly it. It's not that they will do it, but they can. So it just brings up the Land Expropriation Act. You literally, you see what the government is doing with the PA Act, right? Okay? And now we have something called the Land Expropriation Act. So you're telling me after all the stuff we've seen going over here with the PA Act, this is going to be fine. When they implement this, they'll be doing it all. It'll all be above board. We're going to trust them. Government is capable of taking your property. That is it, legally. Okay, because it's not limited to. People are like, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Okay.
Can, and that's a problem. While South Africans argue whether or not the Expropriation Act erodes private property, land invasion's already happening, quietly, strategically, and not like Zimbabwe. Not yet, anyway, but the erosion has already begun. So who's to blame? In my opinion, the ANC.
Hey! Of course, in my opinion, I agree. It is the ANC because the ANC's been in control the whole freaking time. So.
Used the PI Act, they allowed it to be twisted and weaponized, and they gave gangsters, syndicates, and corrupt officials the legal silence to do the dirty work. And with the help of broken law.
And yeah, it is his opinion, but I think a lot of people will agree. So whose fault is this? I love that actually. Just he puts in there, whose fault is this? The ANC. Who is at fault? Balut. ANC. I'm noting this, guys. I have to write this down because I might forget. That it's the ANC, and I love that the ANC, the main thing is yellow because that's one of the ANC's colors. Ta-da! Well, respect for mutual property and native law isn't all that groovy with our high crime rates. What are you saying, native law?
Laws and silent institutions, the PI Act protects invaders. The Expropriation Act empowers the state, and the property owner left defenseless. They didn't need to seize your land. They gave someone else permission to take it. If this can happen...
I like that. I like that line. They didn't seize your land. They gave someone else permission to do so. That's fucking... That's what happened.
Happened to Chris. What makes you think it won't happen to you? This.
Oh, it won't happen to me. That's it. You know what makes them think that it's not going to happen to them is it's not happening right now. And then when it does happen, then we'll consider it. That's it.
Is how freedom dies. Not with bulldozers, but with silence. How long until they come for your land?
How long until they come for your land, boy? I don't feel like this is fear-mongering or anything. I don't think so. I think it's something to consider. really is. You shouldn't only worry about it that when it becomes a reality for you. You do need to have some sort of say in making the change, and protecting people. Joke's on you, commies already took my land. Those laws are everywhere. The only time South Africa enforced the law was for forced removals. The only time. Chris Liebenberg still lives in Cape Town with his loving family. Though the track is gone, his passion for racing remains alive. Okay. Gary Fleming continues to support grassroots motorsport and hosts a weekly motorsport show on Facebook. Go and check it out. As of the release of this documentary, the referendum party has not yet tabled its draft legislation to repeal the PI Act. The city of Cape Town has yet to propose a formal resolution to restore the Tigerbird Raceway land. We knew that. JP Smith says he sympathized with Chris and encouraged legal action against national government and SAPs, but could not make promises outside his authority. Oh, that's nice. That's kind of like please report to your nearest this and that. Thank you for the platitudes. I really appreciate it. My land will sprout anew because you've said we hope we are sorry. JP also says he tried to help relocate the raceway, but the outcome depended on processes beyond his control. I'm still flabbergasted. I guess it is a solution, relocating the raceway, but the fact that we need to relocate it is a big enough issue for me. It's already making me pull my hair out. The site remains occupied. The engines remain silent. Oh, no, there's no more cars. There you go, guys. Joe Emilio, written and directed and edited by Joe. Joe is, what's his name? I should have, I'm going to put the same links I had in part 1. I'll put them in the bottom. I'm going to reach out to him to see if I can speak to him about this documentary. It would be really, really cool to talk about it. Damn, that's wild. That's basically what the guy said. Is that, damn, that's wild. There we go. Build something new. Stop taking built stuff. Stop taking built stuff. Wait. 2025. If I buy an Oranje flag, does that make me racist? Probably. I don't even know what does it even look like? What does an Oranje flag look like? But yeah, okay, that's sad and I hate it. Okay, well, that's sad and I hate it. Cool. Yeah, that's it. That's what my show with Joe will be is, hi Joe, I'm sad and I hate this. How you doing? Oranje did nothing wrong. Do you guys want to investigate Oranje? It's a good looking flag. Nope, it makes you Afrikaans, Mark. I'm not Afrikaans enough for Oranje. Ek is nie Afrikaans genoeg. Nie. There we go, I said it. Right, so did he answer the questions? Who benefits? There's a little bit, yes. It seems like there's several people, several groups that benefit, and of course the people that don't benefit at the end of the day are the poor and the rest of just the South Africans themselves. So yeah, this is what questions for the documentary. Who is enabling it? It seems like government and criminals and just the whole situation of South Africa, the perfect storm of South Africa's shit. Who's profiting? We've got criminals profiting. We've got government officials profiting. We've got even higher syndicates like the land mafia, the construction mafia profiting. And the law seems powerless to stop it because the government is not changing the law. So yeah, the law is powerless. Good times. Afrikaners only city in SA, yeah. Only Afrikaners allowed. There's some YouTubers that have done visits to to Oranje. Have any of the South Africans in chat been to Oranje? I haven't. I don't even think I've driven past it. So yeah. I actually wonder how. Profiting from poverty, great. Yeah, sounds like our government. What did I want to do as a palate cleanser for us to end off the show, guys? I will show you Takalani Sesame. Okay, Takalani Sesame. Okay, that's how we're gonna end it. But we'll use my outro song. Sing along. This is our. Oh my God, the sound already. The sound already from this the nostalgia. Okay. Just try and feel some hope for South Africa, but here we go. This is our Sesame Street. Oh, and probably, guys, anyone who's watching, I'm going to land up muting this. You're just going to have my voice over it because I'm probably going to get copyright struck for it. So I'm going to mute it. That's what I usually do when I'm copyright struck, is completely take out the audio or clip out the section. So sorry for you guys in the future. You're not, just go and look up Takalani Sesame if you want to hear what I'm vibing to. Okay. So yeah. Such a good jam, right? Oh God, look at him. So we got we have a whole train and everything that is deep in my brain. I don't remember that. Fair use. It's fair use, and guys, my jam next to it is altering it enough. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Ah, so good. Oh yes. Now you see, that's good dancing. Flippin' ANC. The thing that I'm joking about is ANC doesn't know how to dance. You guys recognize him? There you go. So good. Sing along to Takalani Sesame. I'm gonna have that in my algorithm now, and I'm okay with it. All the oldies are coming back. Where am I? Right, guys. ANC do have the exaggerated swagger of a suburban white. Great stuff. Do you remember? Yeah. So, guys, we are done for today. I'm figuring out what's going to go, what we're going to do next. I think we can go back to debate diagrams, because there is a debate that I'm considering, a related debate that I'm considering looking at, where it's a non-South African that is debating about land expropriation. I used to have favorite infomercials. Like what? But hey, Verymark. When you're sick, you watch Verymark TV at home. That's what you could get. If obviously we're super privileged people that had TVs at home. But yes, what's coming up on the channel is first of all, tomorrow morning for, because South Africans will be, we are doing a think on evil. So look forward to the think that is coming up tomorrow. We're going to talk about that, all the kinds of things. What is evil? How long can we talk about evil? We will be able to talk a lot. What I have done, and I'm going to put put the guys on the spot, even though they're probably not listening right now. But I have told them that they need to come up with questions. Usually I put a whole bunch of questions together and we go through them. But I've asked them to come up with some questions about the topics. So we're figuring that out in terms of a kind of new format for thinkers. So look out for that. Zaxi comes in a little bit over halfway, so you'll be able to see Zaxi there as well. Yeah, that's this week. Then next week, hopefully we can see where Joe is. I'll try and get Joe Milio, the guy that was presenting this documentary, get him on, and I'll let you know about that. Then we could go into a debate about something else that's more South African as well. If you guys are wondering why we're not talking about the war and things like that, I mean, what can I add to that? That's all. It's just there's not much. War bad. Don't want war. There. That's it. So I'm not going to obsess about that too much. Getting sad about South Africa was the point of this week. Thank you. I love this live chat debates. Cool participants too. Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys for making my streams a good place to be. You yourselves are an attraction for these streams. So the community we're trying to grow here, really appreciate it. Yeah, okay, I'll shut up now, and you guys can enjoy my yelling outro, courtesy of Creamage. And have a nice one. We will see you soon. Okay, thanks. Bye. Also, if you want, sorry, Hardy, one more thing. We're almost at 1,500 subscribers. That'll be amazing. Let me know what else you want to see on the channel. Okay, I really do. I will be audience captured. Let's do that. Okay. Have a nice life. Okay, thanks. Bye.
I'll see you next time, chat. I hope you had fun. We had a pretty great time, but now we're done. If you disagreed with me, that's okay. It's fine to be completely wrong and gay. Daisy was a menace with her tail in the frame, but she's a pretty kitty with a fluffy mane. I'm about to go and touch the sky, so for now, friends, Kate, thanks, bye.
Shut up, bitch! Shut up, bitch!